we present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid.
If you call anyone else, he's Whistling Willie.
Quiet, you boys. I've kept you back in school to work, not to gossip. Have you corrected all the mistakes in your essays?
Yes, sir.
Bring it here, boy.
I've done the spelling mistake, sir, but I couldn't make this out.
Make what out?
This, what you wrote at the bottom, what does it say?
It says, write more clearly. Clitheroe, is that meant to be a joke?
Well, you ought to know, sir. You wrote it.
Now, quiet, both of you. Show me your book, Clitheroe. Good gracious. Did you write this with your feet? You have no cause to giggle, Higginbottom.
You're right, sir. If his brains were gunpowder, he couldn't blow his cap off.
Quiet. Clitheroe, you will write me another essay over the weekend.
What?
The subject is what you did on Saturday. You will write it on Sunday and bring it to me on Monday morning.
But, sir...
Now, silence. Go back to your desk. And don't be copying this essay out of one of your silly comics. It's to be your own work, what actually happens on Saturday. So, if the Martians start landing on your front garden, my cane will descend on your rear.
Oh, very funny, sir. Ozzy, Willie's father wasn't a teacher, you know. What was he? A kettle.
Stop whispering, you two, and finish your corrections.
I've done mine, sir. What else is wrong with it?
Well, your writing is illegible, your spelling is abominable, and your grammar is positively atrocious.
Is the date right?
What?
I think I put the wrong date.
Get on with it.
Ozzy, listen to this. Sir, can you help me with one word?
Very well. What is it?
Success. Is it double C, double S, or one C and two S's?
Success? It's 2 C's and 2 S's.
Pardon, sir?
2 C's and 2 S's.
Are you sure, sir?
Of course I am.
I see double S, U, double C, E, S.
No. S-U-C-C-E double S.
Could you spray that again? Say that again.
S-U-C-C-E-S-S.
Oh, I get it. A S and a and a K and a K and a E and a S and a S. Hello? Oh, hello, Mrs. Higginbottom. Can I speak to you or Ozzy, please? Thank you. Hello? Yes, this is Jimmy. Is that young Fry Tuck? How's the wicked Sheriff of Nottingham? Your father, I mean. All right. Listen, I'm not going to the pictures this afternoon. Yes, I've got the money, but my mum says it's not suitable. I'll give you a big baby. My mum's seen it, and she says the striptease jungle is definitely not an animal picture. Anyway, I'm going to the football match. No, not with me Grandad. He's ill. His brother's staying with us until Grandad's better. Yes, me great Uncle Angus. He'll take me to the football match. Of course he's Scotch. What's that got to do with it? Never mind how they give him free tickets away. You can talk about Scotsmen being mean. What about your father? I heard about what he said to the vicar. When the vicar wanted him to give something to the old lady's home, your father said he could have your mother. Tell her I'm not scared. Roly-poly. Hello? Hello? Now listen, chubby chops. Oh, no, not you, Mrs. Higginbottom. I meant Ozzy. Yes, Mrs. Higginbottom. No, Mrs. Higginbottom. Thank you, Mrs. Higginbottom. Goodbye. The telltale tit. The next time Porky Higginbottom says he's hungry, he'll get a mouthful of Jim's trotter. Oh, well, I'd better find my great Uncle Angus. Uncle Angus! Uncle Angus!
Jimmy, will you stop shouting? Uncle Angus is in the garden. He promised Grandad he'd look after it.
Oh, thank you, sister dear. Did I wake you up?
Wake me up. I've been working, washing the dishes from lunch.
How many plates did you break?
None. But if you'll come in the kitchen, I might manage one on your head.
Oh, very funny. You're not just an ugly face.
Go out and annoy Uncle Angus.
Yes, Susan, and you go back to sleep and dream about you and your dopey boyfriend, Alfie.
Alfred is not dopey.
He must be. He goes out with you. Anyway, I heard you in the front room last night.
I'll tell Mother about you, listening at doors.
I just happened to be passing the keyhole when my shoelace came undone. The sloppy thing. Susan, I've never met a girl like you. I've never seen anyone with such big brown eyes and such silky black hair. He wants to have a look at Trixie the Spaniel down the road.
Get out before I smack your face.
Temper. What's me uncle doing? Throwing white powder all over the garden.
Oh, it's you, Jim.
Aye, it is that, Uncle Angus. Are you not wearing Grandad's kilt,
Oh, it's too cold for a kilt this weather.
Ah, mind the frost don't get the mangle wurzels.
My brother was right about you and your comedy. Now you're here, you can give me a hand with this bone meal.
With what? What's that you're planting?
It's bone meal.
What are you growing, skeletons?
I'm not planting it, it's a kind of fertilizer.
Oh, well, I don't mind helping you spread that on the garden, but once you go out with your wheelbarrow, you're on your own.
Aye, all right, now you hold the bag. I'm in a bit of a hurry, I've got to be changed and away in an hour.
We'll have to leave before then. The match starts at 2:30, so if we're not in the queue by 2:45, we'll be at the back of the terrace.
Eh?
Yeah, Grandad never likes the back of the terrace, because it means I'm on his shoulders all Saturday afternoon, and he's on his back all day Sunday. We a touch of the old rheumaticus.
Oh, I forgot, Jim, I can't take you to the football match. I've got to go to a meeting on your granddad's behalf.
You what?
There's a meeting of the committee he's on, the one in charge of the old age pensioners' annual treat.
Oh, what do you want to go to the annual treat for? All you'll get is a cup of weak tea, a cream bun, and a funny hat. Come to the match and I'll buy you a hot dog.
Your granddad's on the committee that organises the cream buns, the treat. He's the treasurer, so I've got to go to collect the money for him.
Well, if you'll take me to the match, I'll go round with my cap for you.
Nobody on our football ground's interested in old age pensioners.
They are on ours. We've got 6 pensioners in the team. You ought to see the players driving away after the match. 2 bubble cars, 3 scooters, and a half a dozen bath chairs.
Now, it's no use being funny. I can't go with you, and that's final. You'll have to get somebody else to take you. What about this family friend your granddad was telling me about? What did he call him? The pale-faced petunia.
Oh, you mean Mr. Craythorpe?
Aha.
He won't go. He took me once, and we sat next to Ozzie Higginbottom's dad, Foghorn Fred. Mr. Craythorpe shouted, "A foul!" And Mr. Higginbottom clouted him with his rattle.
Oh, get away with you.
Hey, up, here's me mum. I'll try her. Hello, Mum.
Hello, son. Oh, what a crowd there was in that shop.
Oh, Mum, you shouldn't carry that heavy basket. Give it to me.
Well, what's come over you?
I want to help you. Go in, Mum. I'll hold the door.
Oh, thank you, Sir Galahad.
When you want anything from the shops, why don't you ask me to go?
Because I can't afford it.
Ma'am, I never charged you for going errands. It's not my fault if the grocer accidentally drops a bar of chocolate in my bag.
Never mind the chocolate. Have you forgotten the time you went for a pound of butter on your roller skates? And I had to pay for 3 dozen broken eggs.
Well, we had some smashing omelettes. Anyway, have you got anywhere else to go this afternoon?
No, I'm going to have a rest until tea time.
Well, I think you ought to enjoy yourself, so I'm taking you for a treat.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Where?
to the football match.
Oh, you're too kind. That would be a lovely rest. And if I happen to go to sleep, you could wake me up with your rattle.
Well, Uncle Agnes won't take me. He's going to the blooming pensioners' party. At his age, 1 game of musical chairs and he'll be out of breath for a week.
Look, just forget the match for once and put those groceries away while I see who's at the door.
But, Mum, they're playing the top of the league.
Do as you're told.
Oh, all right.
Oh, it's you, Alfie. Come in.
Thank you, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Mind the step. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you all right, Alfie?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, dear. This is not my day.
No.
I knew it wouldn't be this morning when I got out of bed on the right-hand side and put my left sock on first, because... You see, I usually get out on the left side and put my right sock on first for luck, but I forgot my mother had moved the bed against the wall. And I banged my head.
Did you?
He knocked me dizzy.
Oh, is that what did it? Did it?
So I got out of bed on the wrong side, because the left side's the right side, and I put my left sock on. Is your Susan in?
She's putting her sock on. She's in the bathroom getting ready.
Hello, Vicky. Just the fellow I was looking for. It's all right, ma'am. I'll see to Alfie.
Yeah, well, he needs seeing to. Taken care of. That is entertaining. Oh, until Susan gets out of bed in the bathroom. I think I'll go and have a lie down.
What's up with me, ma'am, Alfie?
Hey, don't ask me. Yeah, I don't understand half of what she says.
Ooh, that's a good one. The only one who understands you is Stanley Unwin.
Well, less of that.
Come in the front room, Alfie. I've got some good news for you.
Yeah, well, I've come to take your Susan out.
Look, later on you can take her out. Out of the country, please.
Sure up. Yeah, anyhow, what's the good news?
Well, after a lot of hard work and trouble, I've managed to fix you up with a ticket for the football match.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Jim.
All you need to do is queue up and pay the man at the turnstile 6 bob.
It's only 3 bob on the terrace.
The man only sells tickets in 2s. So come on, if we get away now, we'll be able to lean on the rail.
Oh, we better hurry up then.
Yeah.
Hello, Alfie. Have I kept you waiting?
Yeah, too long. He's just going to the football match. Come on, Alfie.
Yeah, I told you. Hello, Susan. Goodbye.
Well, of all the cheek.
Yeah, Susan must be going daft.
I think you've gone. Coming back for her.
What's going on, Alfie Hall?
Oh, is this brother of yours the Artful Dodger? Yeah, I'm not kidding. In 2 minutes, he could talk Charles Claw into making a takeover bid for you at Washhouse.
I'd have known that little delinquent was to blame. I just came down in time.
If you'd stayed up there long enough to wash your neck, by now I'd have had the brain of Britain halfway there.
Yeah, I'll pump you one in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alfie, but I've got to go to the match so I can write an essay about it for Whistling Willie.
Who?
Our teacher, Willie Grimble. He said if I don't do a good one, he'll severely smack my sit-upon.
Will you ask him if I can come and watch? Alfie, I'll just go and get my coat. If we hurry, we'll just catch a bus.
If you hang on a minute, you'll get a lift.
A lift?
Yes, on the dustman's cart with the rest of the rubbish.
Oh, get lost.
Hey, Jim, I've been thinking.
I thought you'd gone a bit white.
All right. Now, listen, they always have a full report of the local match in the evening paper.
You're right, Alfie.
Well, so you could get to know what happened from that.
That's it. I can go to the pictures, and while I'm there, the bloke on the paper will be writing my essay. Hey, but don't tell me, Mum, I'm going to the pictures. She said I've got to be out in the fresh air this afternoon. Anyway, thanks, Alfie. You've got brains. Never mind what my Grandad says. I'll phone Ozzy straight away. Oh, heck, we can't see the jungle picture. That's not suitable. I know. The one at the Majestic should be all right. The werewolf and the geisha girl.
That's Jimmy's shirt finished. Susan, slip your blouse off and I'll press it while the iron's hot.
Oh, I can't, Mother. I'm going to take down the football results for Uncle Angus.
Oh, yes, it's food.
He says he's got a system that can't fail this week.
Yeah, your Grandad is one that can't fail every week.
Quiet, Mother. They're coming on.
League Division 1. Arsenal 1, Burnley 3. Blackburn Rovers 2. West Bromwich Albion 0. Chelsea 1.
Hello, Ma'am. Oh, the kipper's in the pan. I'm back.
Quiet, you.
What's up with Scraggy Neck? Has she mislaid her eyelashes again?
Oh, I've missed it now. I might as well switch off that little loudmouth here.
Susan, your nerves are in a state. The sooner you get back on malted milk, the better.
Listen, funny boy. When Uncle Angus finds he's not got his football results, you'll take the blame.
He can get the results from tonight's paper.
Jimmy, that only shows the half-time results. Except for the local matches. And anyway, the paper hasn't come yet.
Of course it's come. I saw the paper boy in the street on his bike. Now, come on, hand it over. The master of the house wants to put his feet up.
Listen, Clever, I was looking out of the window just now, and a newspaper boy rode right past the house.
You can't blame him if he saw your ugly mug.
That'll do, Jimmy. Your uncle will be back soon, so you'd better think up a good story about those football results.
Oh, don't worry, I'll think of one. There's plenty of time.
Hello, Pat. Jim. Well, Susan, did you take the results down for me?
It's a long story. Ask Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy. Well?
Once upon a time, there was 3 bears.
What's he talking about?
You'll find out soon enough. Oh, is that a nice paper you've got in your pocket?
Aye, that's right. I collected it from the newsagents for you. Oh, and I paid what your father owed them.
They'll be able to buy a car now, you big mug.
What's that, Jim?
Oh, nothing. Hey, can I look at the back of the page, Uncle?
Aye, all right, Jim. Here you are.
Thanks. Now, where are we?
Susan, about my football results.
Oh, well, you see, Uncle, I just started taking them down.
Oh, no, it's a blinking carvel.
Jimmy, what's the matter?
The local football match. The ground was waterlogged. It was postponed.
Oh, what about it?
It was going to be my essay for Whistling Willie at school. What I did on Saturday. I was going to write about the football match.
Well, how could you do that? You weren't there.
I was going to copy it out of the paper, and then he will. Oh, heck. Clitheroe, you and your big cake all.
That would have been cheating.
Well, it seemed a good idea to me.
Good idea. Only somebody with no brains would have thought of that.
I know, it was your boyfriend, Alfie. What am I going to write about?
Well, that's obvious, right, about what you actually did this afternoon.
Eh? Yes, I could write about Ozzy fainting.
Fainting?
Yes, hey, it was funny, Mum. The werewolf came on and frightened him.
Werewolf?
Yes, in the big picnic in the park.
Oh, so you've been in the park?
Yes, that's right. In the park.
Yes, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Your friend Ossie saw a werewolf in the park.
Well, it wasn't a werewolf, really. It was a beatnik with a beard.
Ah, I don't understand you half the time. Look, you were going to tell me about my football pools.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll tell you after I've run the errands for me, Mum.
I haven't got any errands for you.
Well, hurry up and think of some.
Oh, wait a minute. You can pop round to Mr. Craythorpe's. I want some help with the Women's Guild accounts. And he's got the petty cash book.
Here, is it true what Peter tells me about this fellow Craythorpe? He's the only man in the Women's Guild.
Oh, Father's always poking fun at Theodore. That's Mr. Craythorpe. He works very hard for the Guild. I've known him spend all day Sunday writing letters for it.
Yes, my granddad said if Mr. Craythorpe doesn't watch out, he'll sprain his neck and wrist.
Well, James, as soon as we finish this little job, I'll walk back home with you.
Oh, what a life. I come round with a message and you get me helping you with your washing up.
Well, I have given you your usual shilling.
Look, this is Saturday. I should get time and a half.
Now, James, just because your little scheme for the essay came unstuck, you mustn't indulge in sarcasm.
Well, it's a fine thing stuck in here. Me with a pinny tied round me tum.
We'll get finished quicker this way. After all, many hands make light work.
As the 2 farmers said when they milked the same cow.
Oh, I say, do I detect a little ray of sunshine peeping through the gloom?
Ray of sunshine's right. If I don't write an essay for Whistling Willie, I'll get tanned.
Now, James, if you'd gone somewhere else instead of playing truant at the cinema, your problem would have been solved. Mind you, it's not too late yet. After all, it's still technically Saturday afternoon.
Yes, that's right. If something happened now, I could write about that. Still, there's not much scope in washing up. Hey!
What, James?
Could you get your hand stuck down the plug hole?
I beg your pardon.
Don't you see? We'd have to get the fire brigade to get you out. That'd be smashing to write about.
Don't be ridiculous. If they couldn't free me, they might have to saw through my pipes.
Well, they could give you chloroform.
James, that will do.
Well, how about me knocking you down with me bike?
Don't you think that might be a little dangerous?
Oh, yes, you're right. I might fall off.
Now, stop this nonsense. Ah, well, that's a lot. Hang the drying cloth up behind the door, James, and we'll be off.
Right, Mr. Craythorpe.
Now, where's my coat? You know, James, all you need to write a good essay is imagination.
How do you mean?
Well, a man once wrote a long essay simply about a wave traveling towards the seashore. Oh, it was tremendously realistic. When I read it, I felt as if I were actually there, in the water.
Hey, that's an idea. Get your bathing trunks and I'll push you in the canal.
That was only an illustration, James. Another way is to imagine yourself as something else. When I was at school, I wrote an essay where I imagined myself as a tiny sparrow.
Oh, I see. You were a little twit.
No. Look, I'll explain as we walk up the road. After you, James, and I'll pull the door shut behind me.
Oh, there you are, Uncle. Oh, you've got your overcoat on. Are you going out?
Well, yes. When I was doing the garden today, I took a look at the one next door.
Oh, you mean the one in the house that's empty?
Aye. And I was telling Peter at the hospital it's nothing but a wilderness, so he suggested I pop over and dig up the rhubarb plants and move them into your garden.
Do you think that would be right?
Well, if they're left in there with no attention, they'll die.
Right, but what if the people who move in there ever find out?
Oh, well, you could give them some cuttings or something to pay them back.
All right, but why go out now in the dark?
Aye, well, Peter said if I didn't want the whole town to know, I should do it while Jim's out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember Jimmy's last birthday. The day before, Father sneaked out while Jim was at school, collected the parcel in a plain wrapper, brought it home in a taxi, left it with the people across the street, and just as he was walking in our front door, the milkman said, "Your grandson tells me you've brought him a train set."
That's all. He sounds a bright lad and no mistake.
All right, you are. Well, I'm glad you've wrapped yourself up warmly, because we don't want you well as well. It'll be cold out in that garden.
And of course, James, as I grew older, I became very interested in poetry. And by the time I was in my teens, I developed quite a passion for Shelley.
Well, why didn't you marry her?
James, if you'd been paying attention, you'd know that Shelley was a poet. Or are you finding this walk home rather boring?
Oh, no, not now.
No, good.
Because we're here.
Oh, I see. Anyway, as I was about to say, Shelley's greatest masterpiece was called There's Someone Digging in the Garden.
Well, if that's the title, don't bother to recite it.
No, I mean the house next door to yours. I thought it was still empty.
It is. I know that because me and Ozzy were playing in the garden, and I broke a window with Ozzy's cap.
How could you break a window with Ozzy's cap?
It was still on his head. Hey, you're right, though. There is somebody digging. I wonder who we can... Mr. Craythorpe.
What?
I'll bet it's a burglar burying his loot.
Loot?
Yeah, loot. You know, swag.
Swag?
Yeah. I've read about this sort of thing. They bury the stuff in empty houses till the heat's off.
The heat's off?
Yeah.
Oh, but what shall we do?
It's easy. You go in there and bash him.
Oh, no, James. No, I think I prefer to find a policeman.
What do you want to bash a policeman for?
James, you know very well what I mean. I am not going to apprehend that burglar.
Oh, well, if you're not going to do it, we'd better find a man.
I beg your pardon.
Hey, there's somebody coming down the street. Perhaps this is a man.
Hello, Jimmy, is that you?
No, it's Alfie. Hey, where's our Susan?
Yeah, well, we left the youth club and got on the bus, and there was only room for one inside and one on top, so Susan went inside and I went on top, but when the bus started swaying, it made me funny, so I came down and Susan went up. Then the conductor came along and had no change, so I went up again and Susan came down again, but I must have miscounted the stops, because when I came down again, she'd gone. Where are you golfing at?
You.
There's a burglar in that garden, burying the loot.
You are?
The swag. He's waiting till the heat's off.
Jimmy, who's your friend, Dixon the Dark Green?
No, it's Craythorpe of Clapham Common. Now, listen, you two. I've got an idea for catching him.
What is it?
I've got me catapult, and here's a nice big stone. Now, I'm going to let fly at him. I'll pick the right moment when he bends down again, and as soon as I hit him, he'll get a shot. That's where you two grab him.
Grab him?
Yeah, take a leg each. And no plain wishbones.
But, Jane, are you sure that we could do...
Hey, quick, he's bending down. Now watch this for Robin Hood.
Oh!
He's bitten the dust. Grab him.
Come along, Alfred.
I'm right behind you.
What's going on? Who the blazes...
Got you heaving bounder. Keep still.
He's wriggling loose. Shall I clout him with a spade?
Please, Alfred, no bloodshed. Come on, you ruffian. Now, what's the game?
And when I get up, it'll be postman's knock. I'll stick your head in a letterbox.
Oh, heck, it's great, Uncle Angus.
Hey, fancy that? I didn't know he was a burglar.
Leaving Bounderama, I'll scalp you with my trowel.
James, pacify your great uncle. He's twisting my muffler.
Oh, heck, I'm sorry, Uncle Angus. But we didn't know it was you. What are you doing?
I'm moving these rhubarb plants into your garden.
Oh, I was right then. You are a thieving...
Get into the house and out of my sight, the lot of ye.
Come on, if we stop here, we might upset him.
Well, James, what have you to say about that little incident?
It's just what I want. The story for my essay.
What? But you can't expect me to...
Don't argue, Alfie. You go in the front room and wait for Susan. Get the settee warmed up.
Get it out, Jimmy, I will. Ta-ra.
Mr. Craythorpe, I'm going to write that essay and you're going to help me. We'll do it half and half.
Half and half?
Yes, you write it and I copy it.
But, James,
So you see, if Whistling Willie checks up, it really did happen to me.
Oh, yes. Ah, but we can't mention names. I tell you what. We'll say that your great-uncle Angus is a mysterious unknown felon whom you helped to capture. Now, what shall we have for a title?
I've got it. Clitheroe and the Rhubarb Snatcher. Well, now, Whistling, Mr. Grimble, now you've read my essay, what do you think? It's good, isn't it?
It's positively sensational.
Oh, I thought you'd say that. Well, are you going to give me 10 out of 10?
No, Clitheroe. I'm giving you 6 out of 6 with the cane.
What?
I've never read such a pack of lies in my life.
Oh, sir!
Now bend over.
Oh, you can't do this to me.
Keep still, you silly boy.
Oh, ow! Oh, stop it, you big stick.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, Diane Day, Duncan McIntyre, and Gordon Rollins. The recorded program written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe was produced by James Casey and starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself.
I thought you might like to know I wrote another essay for Willie. I got the idea when Ozzy laughed at me getting the cane. It was called What I Did on Monday Night. I did Ozzy Higginbottom. Ta-ra!
We present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid with Patricia Burke as Mother, Leonard Williams as Theodore Craythorpe, Danny Ross as Alfie Hall, and Diana Day as Susan in...
How now, brown cow? I started hating you when I began to chew your meat pies.
No, you carry on, Mrs. Clitheroe. I'll clear away the tea things from the table.
They make me tummy ache. What do you use to make your meat pies? I've tried 'em. I've fried 'em. Oh, hello, Mr. Craythorpe. Hey, come and have a look at my album.
I'm afraid not, James. You'll have to move your album off the table. I'm going to clear the dishes and wash up for your mother.
Hey, you want to watch it, Mr. Craythorpe? If you're not careful, she'll have you scrubbing the step and I'll be calling you Auntie.
You're the one who'd better watch it, as you put it. Whilst your grandfather is ill, your mother needs all the assistance she can get. It would do you no harm to help.
Wouldn't it? I was tidying up this morning and I got a smack round the ear.
Why, what were you doing?
I was clearing all the cream cakes out of the pantry.
Oh, you are a terrible boy. Now, come along. Move your things off the table.
Oh, just a minute, please, Mr. Craythorpe. I've only got 2 more pictures to stick in my album.
Well, can't you do it somewhere else? You'll have glue all over the table.
Oh, 1 minute more, that's all. I'm collecting pictures of animals and birds. Look, I've got some good uns.
James, will you move your things? Oh, just a moment. Is that a koala bear?
Eh? Oh, yes.
Isn't it a delightful little animal? How would you like a koala bear?
Fried with chips.
James, how could you?
I'm only kidding. I'd like one as a pet, really.
So would I. Oh, here is the bird of paradise. Move over, James.
Well, I was just going to put these last 2 pictures in.
Yes, well, carry on. I'll just glance at the other pages. Oh, look at this little baboon.
They're funny, aren't they? That one must sit down a lot.
Why?
He's worn all the fur off his sit-upon.
That is the way they're made, James.
Oh, yes. I remember our science teacher telling us, when a baboon blushes, it goes all red on it.
Yes. Yes, James, I know. Excuse me, let's put the album flat. I'll just move these cups.
I'm not in your way, am I?
Oh, oh, I say, look at that.
Oh, hold it a second till I stick this one.
It's an anteater. What a tongue.
Will you stop jerking the book?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I have the baboon, please?
Where is it?
I've just glued it on your sleeve.
Oh, James, do be careful.
Look out. Me be careful. You've just made me spill glue on the tablecloth.
I did no such thing.
Watch it. Me Albin's in the glue now.
Theodore, have you finished clearing the Oh, I see. You haven't started yet.
Oh, I was just doing it, Mrs. Clitheroe. Come along, James. I'm still waiting for you to move your things.
I like that. For the last 5 minutes, you've been gabbling away about bears and baboons, pinching 3/4 of my chair while I've been stuck on the edge, going numb on one side of me.
It's quite all right. I'll clear up myself.
No, Mrs. Clitheroe. I said I'll do it, and I will. I'll have these dishes cleared in 2 shakes. James, here, take this out.
Look out, it's stuck to the tablecloth. Oh, you did it in 1 shake, Mr. Craythorne.
Oh, my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Clitheroe. I'll clear it up. James and his fiddling glue.
Oh, it's not your fault, Theodore.
Well, it's not mine. I didn't pull the cloth, and Mr. Craythorpe jogged my arm when I spilt the glue, and I was sticking my pictures in, and I get blamed for everything I do.
All right.
Well,
It was an accident.
Well.
Nobody's going to smack you.
Are you? Oh, well, is there anything else I can do to help?
Yes, you can go upstairs and get washed.
Washed?
Yes, your face, neck, ears, and knees.
Why, it's not Sunday.
Mrs. Billington's coming round to see me about the Women's Guild, and you know what she's like. As soon as you come in, she'll be doing the window test on your ears.
Who cares about Beaky Billington? Anyway, there's no hurry. I'll wait till I see her nose come round the door, and then I'll just have time for a bath before her face arrives.
Don't you be cheeky. Go on, off you go upstairs.
Oh, all right.
I've picked up all the pieces now, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Thank you, Theodore. Oh, Jimmy!
Yes, ma'am.
Before you go up, call in the front room and ask Susan if she and Alfie are going out. If they're not, they'll have to come in here because I'll be using the front room when Mrs. Billington arrives.
Right, ma'am. I'll tell her, but she won't like it. They've only been in there half an hour, and it takes our Susan that long to get Alfie to get his cap off.
You knock before you go in.
I'll knock with me hanky. Hello, Alfie's left the door open a bit. That'll be so he can make a run for it if the octopus grabs him.
Well, what do you say, Alfie? Shall we stop in tonight or go dancing?
Well, I don't care. What do you say?
Look, I want to know what you'd like to do.
Well, I'm game for anything.
Alfie, do you want to go out dancing?
Yes.
Right.
But I'd like to stop here as well.
Any minute now she'll clout him with a sofa.
Alfie Hall, just for once, I want you to decide something. Listen, you said you had a girlfriend called Agatha. Well, where did you take her?
Oh, to their house. We used to play rummy with her mum and dad.
Every night?
Oh, no. No, on Sundays we sang hymns.
She's got a right one here.
Well, didn't you ever go out?
Well, we sometimes had a walk in their garden when it was very windy.
Why, when it was windy?
Well, they lived on a pig farm.
Oh, I'm wasting my time. We'll stay in here.
Oh, no, you won't. Your time's up. We're closing the Tunnel of Love for the rest of the evening.
Get out, you, before I tell Mother.
Mum sent me in to get you out. Alfie can take you for a walk round the pig farm. If you grunt nicely, they might ask you to stop for supper.
Yeah, you, less of that. So Big Ears was at the keyhole, was he?
No, you left the door open, Noddy. Come on, let's have you.
Let's have you. Why don't you speak properly?
Oh, I'm very sorry indeed. Listen to posh Anna with a plum in her mouth.
Now then, Jimmy, Susan's quite right.
talking. You sound as if you've got a gobstopper in your mouth.
Don't you be so impertinent.
Well, you think you're everybody just 'cause you went to Miss Myrtle's School of Speech, Drama and Ballet. Cost me mum a fortune. And all you can do is say 3 nursery rhymes and wobble the cha-cha.
I'm going to see Mother about you. Just wait.
Oh, Jimmy, you know you shouldn't be cheeky to your elders.
She's not me elders. She's me sister. Anyway, she gets me down with a la-di-da telephone voice. You should hear her. Hello, this is the Clitheroe residence.
Get away. Yeah, everybody has a telephone voice.
Yours is more like a megaphone voice.
I'll bat your ear hole in a minute.
All right, Susan, I'll deal with him.
Thank you, Mother.
Jimmy, I will not have you being cheeky to Susan, especially when we have guests.
Have we? Who's come?
Your man means me.
Oh, he knows who I mean. Now, you just behave yourself, my lad.
Well, she was mocking me just because I didn't go to Miss Myrtle's school for dancing and electrocution lessons.
You did go for one day and they threw you out.
That is a lie. I gave it up. I didn't mind reading Miss Myrtle's poetry, but when she tried to get me into a pair of black tights, that was her lot.
Hey, that's a picture I'd like to see.
What?
You and your ballet tights doing the dying duck.
Thank you, Theodore.
Is there anything else I can do, Mrs. Clitheroe?
Only this last plate of cakes. If you put them on the trolley, then we're ready to wheel it all in when Mrs. Billington arrives.
Certainly. You know, it is unusual for her to be late. She's such a stickler for punctuality.
I know. I remember when I was 2 minutes late for the general meeting, she said, I understood this meeting was for 6 o'clock, sharp.
Oh, yes. I sat there absolutely livid. I could have slapped her with my blotting paper.
Hello, what's this? Have you two been having a crafty go at the cream cakes?
Oh, James, you are a terror.
We're not touching their cakes, and neither are you before Mrs. Billington arrives.
Oh, let's have one, Mum. Beaky Billington doesn't eat much. Remember last time? When you brought the tea in, she looked down her nose and said, well, just a little. I'm afraid I only peck at my food. I giggled and Mr. Craythorpe nearly choked on a chocolate eclair.
That'll do, Jimmy. I don't want to hear any more about Beaky's nose. Mrs. Billington's nose.
Oh, yes. Please restrain yourself, James. Otherwise, I shall laugh every time she speaks.
Oh, that'll be Mrs. Billington now. I'll take her into the front room.
Right, Mum. We'll bring the tea things
All right,
in.
but just be careful what you say.
Hear that, Mr. Craythorpe? Watch it. No more cracks about her chirping.
Oh, you're incorrigible. Now, go ahead. You push the trolley in, and I'll bring the crockery.
Righto. Clitheroe will drive the food train to the starving city. Woo! Woo! 6 sausage rolls, half a dozen cream cakes, 6 sausage rolls, half a dozen cream cakes, 6 sausage rolls, 5 lovely cream plates. Here we are, Mum. Grub up.
Jimmy.
Well, really, as I was saying before the interruption, I was delayed by Mr. and Mrs. Treadwell.
Do you mean my headmaster and his wife?
Yes, boy, that I'm talking to your mother.
They're a funny pair, aren't they? He's little and fat, and she's tall and skinny. We call them the tent pole and the Toby jug.
Will you keep quiet? And put those things on the table.
Here we are. I'll put the tray on the side table, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Thank you, Theodore.
I trust you're well, Mrs. Billington.
Quite well, thank you. I was just trying to tell Mrs. Clitheroe why I was late. Mrs. Treadwell was discussing the school's drama festival with me. As you know, Mrs. Clitheroe, I am on the school cultural committee she organises.
Oh, yes, yes. Theodore was telling me about the drama festival at Southport, isn't it?
Yes, about 20 schools are competing, and Mrs. Treadwell and I will be helping to choose the boys from your son's school who will take part.
James, what about you as a junior Laurence Olivier? To be or not to be? That is the question.
And the answer's a lemon, I know. I'd rather be a junior jet pilot. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Billington. Did I splash?
Jimmy, if you can't behave yourself, you go into the kitchen.
Oh, he didn't mean any harm, I'm sure.
James, you'd enjoy being in the drama, you know.
Who, me? Get off.
I'm sure you would. You see, each school does a one-act play, and the adjudicator awards them points.
The whaticator?
Oh, well, he's known as the referee. Oh, you know, it's terribly exciting.
I'm not interested.
But when you've done your play, you can watch all the others.
I'm not interested.
Well, it's a pity. You would have had the thrill of acting.
Ooh.
And 3 days off school at Southport.
I'm not... A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Or I'll give you £0.50 for a ride on your donkey. Ooh, I'm going in for that, Mr. Craythorpe. I'll show them how to act.
Not so fast, young man. I'm afraid you couldn't possibly be selected to appear in the play.
Why not? I know what to do. I've seen them all on the telly and the pictures. Listen to this. Long John Silver. Arr, there you are, Patch. My best cotton thresh man. Arr. Skewer the lily-livered dogs. Batten down the hatch, Miss Purity.
Just a moment.
Button your lip. And there's cowboys. Mr. Dillon. Mr. Dillon. Somebody starch my comms, Mr. Dillon. And those new actors on the telly, the ones who wear dirty jeans and vests and scratch themselves. Oh, Dara. Dara, yeah, ain't with it, Dara. I don't dig you, say, I don't dig you, I mean, you ain't with it, say, Dara, well, I don't dig you.
Listen, Manchester's Marlon Brando. Jimmy, the school doesn't do those sort of plays.
Emphatically not. In fact, we are insisting that no boy may be selected whose enunciation is not perfect. That is why we have decided that only boys from the poetry reading group are eligible for the play.
Well, that lets you out, Jim. Unless you'd like to take a rapid course in elocution at Miss Myrtle's night school.
Ooh, not likely.
I have just had a thought. James, would you like me to give you some lessons and try to get you into the poetry reading group?
We are selecting the actors in a week. I can hardly see this young man changing from what he is into someone who speaks English.
He's not that bad, Mrs. Billington. Theodore.
Yes?
I think you should have a try. It might surprise some people.
Do you think you can do it, Mr. Craythorpe?
Why not? James, you shall be my Pygmalion.
Will I?
Yes. I have only a week to coach you for the stage, but I'm sure we'll succeed.
Right, Mr. Craythorpe. Hey, that's funny. I know they have him in football and in cricket, but you're the first man I've ever heard of who was a stagecoach. Yes, but Mr. Craythorpe, what is good elocution?
Well, James, the secret of good elocution is the correct use of the vocal cords, synchronized with the proper functioning of the respiratory organs.
Well, that's one thing I've learned.
What?
Ask a silly question and you get a silly answer.
What I meant was, producing a good sound with the voice goes hand in hand with regular breathing.
Oh, like me granddad when he snores.
Yes, well, I suppose there is a similarity. What we have to understand is how this arises.
Mum says it's through eating too much cheese for his supper.
Look, I'll illustrate what I mean. I take a deep breath, like this. And the words flow naturally as the air is expelled from the lungs.
Mr. Craythorpe, you sound as though you've got a slow puncture.
James, please. Now, I want to test you for incorrect vowel sounds. Is there any particular poem you happen to know?
Well, there was the one I heard at school. I think I can remember it.
Good. Well, off you go, and I'll note any mistakes you make.
Right, Mr. Craythorpe. Fireman, fireman, ring that bell. Jump on the wagon and drive like...
James!
Mad.
Drive like mad?
Yes, it rhymes with the next line. Squirt your hose and save my dad. It's all about him smoking in bed, you know.
No, James, that's not quite the kind of thing I meant. When you go for your audition for the poetry reading group, Mrs. Billington will be there. She'll hardly be interested in silly poems about firemen.
Oh, Beaky Billington? She'd be useful in a fire station. I can just see the fireman when the alarm goes, sliding down a snitch.
James, let us please forget Mrs. Billington's beak. Snitch.
Try conch.
Conch. James, I shan't tell you again. We'll continue with the vowel sounds. Now repeat this after me. How now, brown cow?
I'm not saying that. It's daft.
James, just repeat it after me. How now, brown cow?
Oh, all right. Anything you say.
Oh, hello, Jimmy.
How now, brown cow?
Who are you calling a brown cow?
Alfred, James and I are rather busy. Is there something you want?
Well, I've called for Susan. You see, I knocked at the front door, but nobody answered, so I went round the back in the pouring rain and fell over the dustbin, so I came back and tried the front door, and as it was open, I took a chance and came in out to the rain and all wet.
Well, you said it. Alfie, let's hear you say this. How now, brown cow?
What for?
I'm going to teach you how to talk proper. Oh, no, it's no good, though.
Why not?
Well, first of all, you've got to take a deep breath, and I don't think you've got the strength.
I'll thump you in a minute. Here, feel my muscles.
Let me feel. They're not muscles. It's your jacket. The shoulder pads have slipped.
Does anyone mind if I join in?
Why? What sort of muscles have you got?
My muscles are my business.
And business is shocking.
James, we'll get back to the lesson, if you don't mind. Now, once again. How now, brown cow?
Ooh, I'm fed up with this blinking cow. Roll on milking time.
Now, Jim, there's nothing to it. Listen. How now, brown cow?
Ooh, jolly good.
Hey, Mr. Craythorpe, could you teach me to talk proper?
Well, I don't know, Alfred. Do you think you can spare the time?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not taking Susan out for half an hour yet, and I think she'd like me to learn. She's always on at me for not saying the right things.
I know, you should have heard him outside last night, Mr. Craythorpe. Oh, Susan was going mad at him. She said, after his behaviour at the cinema, he had no manners and he wasn't a gentleman. He went to the chip shop for a peace offering, and our Susan came up to bed.
Hey, Jimmy.
And when he got back, he threw a stone up at the bedroom window and shouted, "Come down, Juliet. Your little Romeo's got a fish and 4 penn'orth."
I suppose this made Susan more annoyed.
Oh, no, it didn't. No, she never heard me.
Why, had she gone to sleep?
No, I was outside the wrong house.
Well, James, tomorrow's the big day. You're auditioned for the poetry reading group. How do you feel?
Oh, I'll get through. I've got plenty of poems up my sleeve.
Let me hear the first item.
All right. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. Well, what do you know? No drain.
James, kindly stop being facetious. Remember, Mrs. Billington will be there.
Oh, I've got the very poem for her. It's one of me and Ozzy wrote. Listen. Beaky Bill went down the hill riding on her scooter. She failed to stop at a traffic cop and stabbed him with her hooter.
Have you had enough to eat, Mother?
Yes, thanks, Susan. You've done a good job tonight. Your cooking's improving a lot.
Oh, thanks. Alfie, do you want any more?
Oh, I don't know. That pancake tasted a bit funny.
That was a cheese omelette.
Was it? I'd like a bit more of that sweet. I've never had chocolate blancmange before.
It was a cream caramel.
Was it? You could have fooled me. Ouch!
Oh, sorry, Alfie. I didn't know that was your leg under the table.
You want to watch it with them stiletto wheels? I can feel one of my socks unravelling.
You two lovebirds. If you fancy a quiet evening in the front room, I should get your claim staked before Jimmy gets back.
Well, isn't Jimmy home from school yet?
No, he stayed behind for the audition for the poetry reading group.
Yeah. Hey, shall I go and get him on my bike?
Oh, no, it's all right, Alfie. Mr. Craythorpe's picking him up in the car. Oh, perhaps this is them now.
Come in, Mr. Craythorpe.
Thank you, James. Hello, everybody. Well, I can't wait to tell you all. The child prodigy certainly excelled himself tonight.
You what?
It means I played a blinder.
You got through then, Jimmy?
Oh, got through. It was a doddle.
Well, I can't believe it. My dear little brother getting into the poetry reading group.
Well, I did see. I had Beaky Billington in tears. One tear started rolling right down her nose. And it's a brave tear that'll set on a journey like that.
That'll do, Jimmy. Oh, I wish I could have heard you reciting your poem.
Oh, it was marvellous.
Hey, Jim, why don't you do it for us now?
Do what?
Recite your poem. Go on, I'll keep quiet for once. I'll breathe in through my mouth.
Yes, James, come along. Let's have a repeat performance.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, I can't do it here. This is our house. That's me mum, and that's our Susan. They'll laugh the blooming nuts off.
Of course we won't, Jim.
I'll bet our Susan will.
You won't, will you, Susan?
No, of course I
There you
won't.
are.
Go on, Jimmy, recite for us.
Now, come along, James. Shoulders back, deep breath, and off you go.
All right, then. But no tittering. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake... What was that?
What was what, Jim?
It was our Susan. She laughed.
I didn't. I thought I was going to sneeze.
Oh, I'll make you sneeze. I'll clout you with the pepper pot.
Quiet, Susan. Go on, Jimmy. Carry on, love.
All right, Mum. But she's been warned.
Yes.
One more snigger and she's had it.
Now, James, carry on, please.
All right, then. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Mama, I'll bash her, I
It wasn't Susan's fault, Jim. No, it was mine, you see. Just as you were reciting, I took my handkerchief out and she saw I'd made it into a bunny rabbit. Go on.
will. No, the recital's over. You've had it. If you want to see me acting, you can all come to the play when I'm in it. They're giving the parts out tomorrow, you know.
You'll be in the play then?
In it? I'll be one of the stars.
Oh.
Charles II.
Oh, smashing. Yeah, I bet you make a right, Charlie. Yeah, I mean, a proper Charlie. You'll be very good, Jim. Yes.
Jimmy, you mean King Charles II?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's an historical play, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Isn't it? And he's marvellous. Charles I gets his head chopped off by Oliver Cromwell. And then when Oliver becomes boss of England, he has a battle with Charles II and loses. And Cromwell's bonds finishes up stuck on a pike.
Well, Theodore, there's the school bus just gone past.
Good. James should be here any minute now. I do hope they've given him a part in the play.
Oh,
He's
yes.
worked so hard for it.
Yes, well, you deserve as much credit as he does, Theodore.
Oh, come now. You embarrass me, Mrs. Clitheroe. Still, I shall certainly stand by to give James some more coaching. I should think the part of Charles II will be quite a difficult one.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Theodore. I'm sure Jimmy will be very appreciative. Ah, I think His Majesty has arrived. And that's no way to treat the palace door. Is that you, Jimmy?
Hello, Mum. Mr. Craythorpe.
Well, Jim, how did it go?
How did it go? Oh, I'm fed up.
James, they haven't let you out of the play, have they?
No, I'm in it all right. I've got 2 whole lines.
2? I should have thought King Charles had more to say than that.
That's just it. I'm not playing King Charles. I'm blinking Nell Gwyn. Lovely ripe oranges, who'll buy my oranges?
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, Diana Day, and Rosalie Williams. The recorded program was written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe and produced by James Casey. It starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the kid himself.
The Clitheroe Kid was recorded by the BBC.
We present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid with Patricia Burke as Mother, Leonard Williams as Theodore Craythorpe, Danny Ross as Alfie Hall, and Diana Day as Susan in...
Grandad's back.
There's nothing like a nice cup of tea.
Hey, Mum, are you ready to go to the hospital? It's nearly 6 o'clock, you know.
The visiting time is 7 o'clock on a Friday night.
Oh, heck yes. I forgot. You know, I'll be glad when Grandad's out of hospital. I'm fed up having my neck washed twice a day. Can I go out to play then?
No, you've just put on your clean clothes. Now, come here. What have you got on your neck?
Skin, what's on yours?
Don't be clever. I hope I can't see a tide mark.
So do I. Hey, get off, Mum.
Keep still. Well, your neck's all right for once. And your ears. Well. Clean face, clean shirt, polished shoes. Are you courting?
Oh, don't be funny, Mum. Anyway, lads who go out with girls are daft. Look at Alfie Hall. One smile from our Susan, and he changes from a man into a lovesick spaniel. He sits there with his mouth open, waiting for a juicy bone. And what does he get? Scraggy Anna.
All right. Don't be calling our Susan names when she's not here.
Why isn't she here? She ought to be going to see me Grandad when he's in hospital.
She went last night. Alfie's taken her to the pictures. They arranged it ages ago. Oh, dear. Who can that be? I was hoping to have a rest for half an hour.
I'll go and get rid of him, Mum.
Yeah, will you be careful what you say?
I know what to say. If they're selling something, we've got it. And if it's the rent, Mum, he's had it.
Don't say nothing of the kind.
All right. Don't wear your thumb out.
Oh, Jim, I thought you were never coming.
From the look of you, you're nearly gone. Come in, Alfie.
Oh, dear, I've run all the way. I'm worn out.
Well, now you're on the floor, you can have a rest. Hey, I was looking for that. Oh, thanks, Alfie.
Jimmy, what's happened?
Alfie Halls found me roller skate.
What are you talking about?
Hello, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Hello, Alfie. Are you all right? Jimmy, I've told you about leaving your things all over the house.
Oh, if you left a pin on the floor, he'd fall over it.
Now, don't you be cheeky.
Oh, he's right, Mrs. Clitheroe. Everything's gone wrong since tea time.
How do you mean, Alfie?
Well, I was just starting on my kipper when I remembered I had to meet Susan at 6 o'clock, so I jumped up, slipped, fell on my dad and pushed his head in the custard. Well, my mum said sit down and my dad said drop dead. I got that flustered, I put my knife and fork on the chair, poured salt in my tea, put sugar on my kipper, took a big bite and sat down. A fishbone stuck in my throat and my fork stuck in my driving licence. Can I have a drink of water?
He must breathe through his ears.
A drink of water, Alfie? Yes, of course. I'll have one as well.
Hey, Jim, is Susan sulking upstairs?
I shouldn't think so. If she's had to pay for herself, she'll be sulking downstairs in the 1 and 9s.
What do you mean?
She's gone to the pictures.
Well, I like that. Who's she gone with?
You.
Ah, well, that's different. Give a whack. I remember now. I said I'd meet her outside at 6 o'clock. What am I going to do?
A 2-minute mile.
Oh, don't be funny. Susan will be going now.
Well, don't bring her here. Take her to a vet.
Here you are, Alfie. I brought you a cup of tea and said... Oh. How's he gone?
I don't think he was ever with us.
I don't know about visiting Grandad in the hospital. After 5 minutes of that fellow, I think Grandad should come and visit us.
Hey, Mum. I think my Grandad's asleep.
So he is. Sister, perhaps we'd better not disturb my father. I'll leave this fruit with you.
Oh, no. You may as well wake him now. Otherwise, he'll never sleep tonight.
Oh, you don't know me Grandad, sister. He's the only one I know who can snore his head off while Billy Cotton's shouting, wakey, wakey!
Well, he probably needs all the rest he can get to cope with you.
How right you are, sister. The only way to get any rest in our house is to buy yourself a box of sleeping tablets and then give them to Jimmy.
Well, I can believe you. Well, I'll see you later, Mrs. Clitheroe. I'm just going to have a word with the doctor about Mr. Sinclair.
Right-o, sister.
Come on, Mum, let's go and wake Sleeping Beauty.
I can't see the prince kissing him.
I can if Prince was a dog. Come on there, close your mouth and open your eyes.
Wake up, Father. He's dreaming, I think.
Yes, he's licking his lips. He's dreaming about the rose and crown.
Father, wake up.
Time, gentlemen, please.
What? A large whiskey. Hello, Pat, Jimmy. Oh, well, I must have closed my eyes for a few minutes.
You did 3 hours ago.
All right, Jimmy. How do you feel, Father?
Oh, fine, Pat, fine. I've had no pain in my back for 2 days.
Oh, good. The sister said they were very pleased with you. It wasn't a slipped disc after all.
No, just a badly strained muscle in my back. But they say I must be careful about lifting anything heavy.
Oh, well, you'll have to change to light ale.
Ah, that's my boy. You'll soon cheer me up when I get home, Jimmy.
Well, it won't be many days now, Father. We've missed you very much, haven't we, Jim?
Oh, yes, we have. Every morning when I get up for school, the house is dead quiet. I've missed hearing you singing, oh, it's nice to get up in the morning while you're lying in bed supping tea.
Well, son, I've missed you too.
Mrs. Clitheroe, I've got some very good news for you. I told the doctor Mr. Sinclair would rest at home and there was someone to look after him. So he said he can be discharged tomorrow after lunch.
Thank you, sister.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, smashing, Grandad. Hey, what about this pound of grapes we brought? You'll never get through that lot by tomorrow.
Well, there's plenty of sick people here to give them to.
How about giving them to me?
You're not sick.
I will be after I've eaten all these grapes. Anybody there? Oh, good. All clear. Oh, that daft grocer putting the eggs at the bottom of the bag. If I put it on the floor, it'll look as though it's fallen off the kitchen table. Pity we haven't a cat I could blame. I wonder if the woman next door would lend me her cat.
What are you doing?
Oh, you daft thing. I thought my mum had caught me.
Caught you doing what?
I meant called me. Anyway, keep your big nose out of it.
And what if I don't?
I'll nip it with the pliers and you'll walk out talking like that.
All right, I'll call Mother.
Oh, no, don't, Susan. I didn't mean it. I wouldn't do anything to you, Susan. After all, you're my sister, and brothers and sisters should help each other.
Oh, should they?
Yes, I mean, I'd help you any time. If you want me to do anything, you only have to say the word.
I know. The word I have to say is money. There's something funny in that carrier bag, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Oh, if you don't get out, you'll find something funny, all right. I'll tickle your nut with the frying pan.
Now, that's no way for a loving brother to talk to his sister. I thought we should help each other. Let me see in that bag.
Get off. You're not coming here.
I am. Let go of me.
You're not. Ow, ooh, you bully.
What are you two doing, pushing each other like that?
I was trying
to teach me the cha-cha.
Nothing of the kind. Anyway, I'll leave him to you now, Mother. I've got to go out. I should have a look at the groceries he's got.
Oh, you.
What's the carrier doing down there, Jimmy?
Oh, it might have fallen off the kitchen table.
It might, but it didn't. I saw him put it on the floor.
I thought you were going, Pinhead.
What is all this?
You'll find out. I'm off. I've got an appointment with the hairdresser.
When you come back, you'll have an appointment with my boot.
Oh, no, Jimmy, you're the limit. A dozen eggs and one of them not broken.
That must be a toughie. I dropped him on the pavement.
Don't you try to laugh this off. I was taking those to the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ma'am. Anyway, you're bringing me Grandad home in half an hour. He can eat 'em here. Hey, what a tuck-in. An 11-egg omelette.
I was giving them to the sister for the nurses. A little thank you gift.
Well, I'll go for some more.
You will not. I'll go out myself and get the chocolates. Now, Mr. Craythorpe is taking me to the hospital in his car, so tell him I'll be back in a quarter of an hour.
Chocolates? Look, Mum, I think I ought to go for them, really.
I don't. I'd look a right fool presenting the sister with an empty box. Now, please, try to keep out of mischief for 5 minutes and put those rotten eggs in a bowl.
I'm beginning to think she doesn't trust me. Ah, she's come back to say she's sorry. Come in, Mum. I'll get... Oh, it's you, Alfie.
Yeah, that's right. Who did you think I was, Charlie Drake?
You sound more like Donald Duck.
Yeah, less of that.
Our Susan's out.
Yeah, I know. I just met your mum and she said I could come in and wait for Susan.
Well, come in. I'm waiting for her myself. I've got a little surprise for her.
What is it?
When she gets back from the hairdresser's, I'm going to give her an egg shampoo.
What's she on about?
Oh, I brought some eggs and Big Mouth Bertha let me mum know. Oh, that reminds me, I'd better get them out of the carrier bag into a bowl.
Well, I'll give you hand, Jim. Where are they?
In the kitchen. Come on, then. You know, Alfie, they ought to feed hens with elastic, and then they'd lay rubber eggs.
You'd never be able to collect them.
Why?
Well, every time a hen laid a rubber egg, it'd bounce back again. They get fed up of trying.
Oh, you're as daft as Dicky Dotty. Here, hold the bag. I'll pick the eggs out and put them in this bowl.
Right.
They aren't half sticky.
Hey, this reminds me of when I was holding a bag in an orchard while my cousin went up a tree collecting some apples. All of a sudden, the farmer came up behind me and shouted,
What are you doing?
"Get help!"
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, Mr. Craythorpe nearly swallowed me tonsils.
I do apologize, but the front door was open, so I just walked in.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Craythorpe.
Oh, dear. Have I made you break some eggs?
Oh, no. Jimmy broke.
Sorry, Alfie. It wasn't really your fault, Mr. Craythorpe.
Oh, but it was, and I must pay your mother for them.
Oh, she wouldn't take it, Mr. Craythorpe. But, if you'd like to give it to me...
You'll do nothing of the kind. He broke them, Mr. Craythorpe. I'll tell you the truth.
Oh, all right, George Washington. Go and stand under a cherry tree while I find an axe.
James, you fibber.
I didn't tell a fib. I said it wasn't your fault.
But when you said it wasn't, I knew you meant it was. And you knew I knew, didn't you?
What?
You.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes.
What?
You.
Who?
Me. You.
Ha ha! Jim's won. Alfie, do you want to play?
Yes, I don't mind. What are you talking about?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, shut up and get hold of the bag again.
I don't you talk to me like that.
Well, you dropped it. You should hold it.
Oh, I will hold it.
No, he should do it. Let go, Mr. Craythorpe.
James, I shall get cross with you. Give me that bag.
No, I'll take it.
Yes, give it here.
Will you give me that bag?
Oh, all right. Catch. Oh, egg.
James, my suit. It's all covered in egg. Oh, how horrible. I can't go to the hospital looking like this.
You know the thing, your suit's got yellow jaundice.
Alfie, it's nothing to joke about.
Thank you, James.
I should wipe the egg off your face, though. Or they'll say it's Charlie Chan in a bowler hat. Sorry, Mr. Craythorpe.
You don't sound it. I must go home and get changed my clothes. I shall be late now taking your mother to the hospital. So you can explain what happened. Perhaps she won't think it's so funny.
Oh, Jim, what are you going to do?
Phone Ozzy Higginbottom's daddy's got a taxi.
But what are you going to tell your mother?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes, all right, all.
Oh, are you sure this taxi's coming?
Ma'am, Mr. Higginbottom promised. He'll be here any minute.
Well, I still don't understand about Mr. Craythorpe. Why should he be showing you a trick with broken eggs?
Well, I was puzzled myself. Oh, he's here. Get your bag, ma'am. I'll open the door.
Well, are you ready? Oh, it's you. Look, tell your mother to hurry up. After I've finished with her, I've got 3 loads to take to the football ground.
Loads of what?
Shut up, Tiny Tim.
All right, Big Ben.
What's that?
I was wondering what time it is.
It's 10 to 2. We'll be lucky to make it for 2 o'clock.
Is that old thing your taxi?
Yes. What about it?
I think you'll be lucky to make it to the end of the street.
Now listen. One more word out of you and you'll be wearing my spare wheel for a collar.
Well, I'm ready, Mr. Higginbottom. We'll have to hurry, though.
Well, that's up to you, ma'am.
What? What do you mean? I'm not driving the taxi.
No, you'll be pushing it.
Well, Mrs. Clitheroe, I'll be bringing Mr. Sinclair up from the ward in a moment. But remember, We're letting him go earlier than we intended, so he must take it easy and rest.
Oh, don't worry, sister. I'll see that he does that. And I must thank you for all the care and attention he's had here.
Oh, well, that's what we're here for. You have got transport for him, haven't you?
Oh, yes, we've got a taxi waiting outside.
Good. Oh, here's Mr. Sinclair now. Bring the wheelchair over here, nurse.
Hello, Father. Ready for the journey home now?
Aye. I'll be sorry to leave all those pretty nurses behind me.
Oh, listen to him, sister.
So Clitheroe managed to get here in his fiery chariot, did he?
No, Father. There's been a bit of trouble over Theodore, but we have got transport for you, so don't worry.
Well, as long as I don't have to walk far, I'm still a wee bit shaky on my pins, you
It's
know.
all right, Father. Mr. Higginbottom's got his taxi right outside the door.
Oh, well, that'll be fine then. Higginbottom?
Hey, Mrs. Clitheroe, can we hurry up? Some geezer outside says I'm holding up the traffic.
So I'm riding with you, Higginbottom. I suppose it'll cost me a fortune.
Only the usual. £2 the first mile, 1 and a tanner every extra mile, 6pence a passenger, plus your luggage.
Presume there'll be no charge for use of ashtrays.
Father.
You'll be careful how you drive that taxi. Mr. Sinclair mustn't be jolted about. And remember, Mr. Sinclair, it's straight up to bed for you when you get home. Come along now.
Keep going, Mr. Craythorpe. You're doing fine. A bit more throttle and you'll just about pass that steamroller.
James, save your humour for the classroom, please, and allow me to concentrate on my driving.
Ooh, when I get home, I'll write a book about this. I was a passenger with Sterling Craythorpe.
I shan't tell you again, James, and I have my gravest doubts whether this really is a shortcut to the hospital.
Of course it is. This is the way we brought Ozzy in the headmaster's car the day he got the marble stuck up his nose. Now, when you get to that horse trough, you turn sharp left, unless you fancy a quick bath.
Very well, James. I only hope we get to the hospital before the others commence the return journey. Look, we're nearing the top of this street. Do I turn left or right?
Let me think. Left or right? I know it's one of them.
James, we're nearly there.
Look out, that taxi coming round the corner on the wrong side.
Oh, good heavens. James, did you see that?
Yes, but you didn't. You had your eyes shut.
Stay in the car, James. The maniac. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
No, I'll come with you. If there's going to be a fight, I'd better bring your starting handle.
I'll teach this lout a lesson. Step out of the cab, you road hog.
Road hog? I'll stick your head in your big end. You soft-looking... Which you, Craythorpe?
Oh, Higginbottom, are you aware that your front bumper has scraped my body?
You don't shut up, my left fist will scrape your lug hole.
Keep it up, you two. There's a crowd gathering. When it gets big enough, we'll have a whip round for the damage.
Quiet, James. Now then, what do you think you're playing at, coming round the corner like that?
Listen, ferret face. It was your fault, you and that heap of scrap iron you call a car.
Why, you great oaf!
I don't care whose fault it was. Get me home. You started my back off again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sinclair, but blame this hooligan.
Theodore, what happened?
I'll tell you, Mum.
What are you doing here, Jimmy?
I was showing Mr. Craythorpe a shortcut to the hospital when round the corner comes Ben-Hur Higginbottom. And when I looked round, I saw Mr. Craythorpe's face. He'd gone green.
How long are we going to be stuck in here? I'm freezing in this ice box.
Oh, don't worry, Grandad. We'll soon sort it out.
Now then.
Well, this policeman will.
Yes, I happen to witness this little spot of bother.
Good. Then perhaps you will arrest this lout Higginbottom for dangerous driving.
Oh, I couldn't very well do that, sir.
But he was driving on my side of the road.
He was entitled to. This is a one-way street.
Oh, heck.
You might well say, oh, heck.
Well, I didn't know it was a one-way street.
You could have looked out for the sign.
I couldn't. I was watching your speedometer because we were going like mad up the road and it wasn't moving at all.
Oh, defective speedometer, eh? That's serious.
Look, Constable, whilst you're arresting Crippen here, can I shove off? After all, I was in the clear.
You can if you like, because now I've got your number, I can book you later on.
What?
I don't see any windscreen wiper on that taxi.
Well, I know. I mean, I was going to get
And
it.
that rear mud guard's a bit loose. Not to mention the fact that you're carrying passengers and your flag's not down.
The old man is not very well, and I didn't want his blood pressure going up faster than the meter.
Constable, my father's just come out of hospital. We want to get him home.
I see. Well, I'll have to take some notes, of course, but I'll be as quick as I can. We just go and have a look at your car first, Mr.
Craythorpe, Theodore Craythorpe. And I assure you, Constable, I am a very law-abiding citizen of this town.
Poor Mr. Craythorpe. Hey, do you think they'll send him to Devil's Island?
You can cut out the jokes, young man. I'll deal with you when we get home.
If my Aussie had caused all this trouble, I'd make his skin tingle for him.
What would you do? Scrub his neck?
I'll belt you in a minute.
All right, Mr. Higginbottom. Jimmy's my son and I'll handle him. Now listen to me. There'll be no football for you this afternoon, no television tonight, and you'll manage without this week's pocket money.
What? Oh, but, Mum, I must watch the telly tonight. It's tenderfoot.
If your granddad gets near you with his walking stick, you'll be tender and it won't be on your foot.
Oh, come on, Jimmy. You've got a face like two predator wet dry. Isn't there any way I can cheer you up?
No, I'm fed up.
Oh, well, I know how you feel. Yeah, after all, I was a lad myself once.
Were you really?
Well, of course I was. Well, I must have been. I went to the same school as you go to.
Oh, yes. I've seen the carving on the lid of one of the desks. Alfie Hall slept here.
Yeah, that'll do. No, I was just going to say that when I got into trouble, my dad was a terror. His motto was clout first and ask questions afterwards. You remember once the right man called and I gave him Dad's best suit by mistake. I should have known it was his best suit because there was a pack of cards and a bottle opener in right-hand pocket. I don't know, when he got home he went raving mad. He said, "What did you get for it?" I said, 2 tiddlers in a jam jar. He said, "That's not enough, and give me a thick ear as well." My head went numb.
Well, don't worry. It's bound to wear off sooner or later.
Jimmy, for somebody who's supposed to be in trouble, you're very cocky. Don't you mind having your pocket money stopped?
Oh, I can soon get some money.
You're getting no money out of me.
All right. So you don't want to hear about Susan and the milkman?
No, I do not, so you can put that in your pipe. And Susan, what about it?
Oh, it's just something our milkman asked her this morning. You know him, that tall, good-looking chap who's mad keen to take her out. He knows you. He calls you bladder chops.
Does he? He's asking for a thump in his drink, a pint of milk a day. Yeah, hey, what did he ask you, Susan?
Oh, well, I don't know whether I should tell you. I mean, I only heard them talking by accident while I was crouching behind the dustbin. Anyway, it's not important.
All right, how much?
What do you mean, Alfie?
But look, here's a shilling. Go on, take it.
Oh, no, I don't think I could. After all, Susan may not be perfect, but good or bad, she's my sister.
Look, will you stop talking like Mrs. Dale and take this 1 and 6?
I couldn't, Alfie.
But too bad, then.
All right, I'll force myself. Thanks, Alfie.
Oh, well, come on. What did the milkman say to you, Susan?
He said, tomorrow, don't forget.
Ah, go on.
Leave out your empties.
Oh. Jimmy, well, you crafty little monkey. Oh, you wait till Susan comes. I'll tell her.
What were you telling me?
You want locking up.
What?
No, not you, Susan. It's your brother here, the little Robin Hood. He tried to get me jealous about you and the milkman.
Oh, we haven't time to bother with him now. I've got to go and buy a new hot water bottle for Grandad and find Mr. Craythorpe's thermometer.
Thermometer? Oh, I've got that. It's in my goldfish bowl. I'll take it up to him.
Look, if you put it in the goldfish bowl, it should be washed first.
Don't be daft, goldfish aren't that fussy.
I mean, before Mr. Craythorpe puts it in Grandad's mouth. You've got to...
I know what to do. They told us about it at school.
Well, hurry up with it. Come on, Alfie. You can walk to the shops with me and tell me what little Jimmy Liar said about the milkman.
Yeah, right, Susan. I'll see you later, little Buddy boy.
I'd better take the thermometer up now before there's any more trouble. Now, what did our teacher say? All surgical instruments must be, hypnotized. Well, it was something like that. I know, you stick 'em under the hot water tap. So I'd better do that.
There you are, Mr. Sinclair. Those pillows should be quite comfortable now.
Ah, well, thank you, Theodore. Ah, you're a proper little Florence Nightingale and no mistake.
There's no need for sarcasm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Theodore. Go on, thank you for the daffodils. They're very nice. Did Pat say she was cooking me a meal?
Yes, it should be ready soon. Now, what can I lend you in the way of books? I've brought a few in the car. There's Great Expectations, The Mill on the Floss, or if you're feeling whimsical, there's Alice Through the Looking Glass. Oh, and I've got The Wind in the Willows.
So have I. I'm starving.
Here you are, Father, a nice big plate of steak and chips for you.
Ah, well now, isn't that a sight to gladden the eye? My first square meal for weeks. Well, here goes.
Just a moment, Mr. Sinclair. Don't eat yet.
What?
I must take your temperature first.
Look, Theodore, I can assure you, once I get this little lot inside me, there'll be no danger of a relapse.
Now, Father, Theodore's right. There's no sense in eating all that hot food first. Now, where's Susan with a thermometer?
Here you are, Mum. I've got it. Come on, Grandad. Open wide. Not too wide. I don't want to put my head in.
Give the thermometer to Mr. Craythorpe. Go on.
Oh, go on. Let me do it. No, I like playing at doctors.
Jimmy, keep your thieving hands off my chips. Look, just stick that thermometer under my tongue.
Right, Grandad. That's it. Now, close your mouth. That's right. Ooh, that steak looks good. Can I just have a little...
Leave her alone, you young rascal.
Well, if I get some bread, can I have a dip in your gravy?
That'll do. Just go downstairs this minute. Go.
But, Mum!
James, this is a sick room, not a snack bar. Now, Mr. Sinclair, I'll just take the thermometer and read it. Good heavens.
What's up, Mr. Craythorpe?
Your grandfather. He's 104.
Happy birthday to you.
Jimmy! What shall we do?
Now, keep calm, Mrs. Clitheroe. We must get all the blankets and hot water bottles you've got.
Look, Craythorpe, I don't know what all this is about, but I feel fine, so just let me eat in peace.
Oh, no, there's no food for you, Mr. Sinclair.
What?
You know what they say about starving a fever? Eating is out of the question. Mrs. Clitheroe, we'd better take this tray downstairs and telephone the doctor.
But I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sinclair.
Well, that's the steak and chips finished. Oh, I feel full. It's a wonder my braces haven't busted.
All right, Jimmy, don't gloat. I only gave it to you because I didn't want it wasted. Oh, the doctor's a long time up there, Theodore.
Now, don't worry. I know Mr. Sinclair's temperature was very alarming, but I'm sure we spotted it in time. Here's the doctor now.
Oh. Well, Doctor, how is he?
Well, frankly, Mrs. Clitheroe, I'm very puzzled. I gave him a good checkup, and when I took his temperature just now, it was quite normal.
Oh, that is very strange. But I assure you my thermometer did show 104.
Are you sure there's nothing wrong with your thermometer? I mean, they can break easily, you know.
Well, it was all right when I hypnotized it.
Hypnotized it? Oh, you don't mean sterilized it?
Yes, I put it under the hot water tap.
What?
Well, that explains the high temperature, I think.
Oh, Jimmy, you again. I'm sorry we troubled you, Doctor.
Not at all. Anyway, you needn't worry about your father anymore.
Oh, good. Grandad's all right. Shall I go and tell him, Mum?
Yes, and tell him what happened to his steak and chips.
All right. What? Oh, heck. I ate him and he's starving. He'll flay me alive. Oh, Doctor, don't go yet.
Why, Sonny?
When me Grandad's finished with me, I'll need some splints on me sit-upon.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, Diana Day, Tony Melody, Tom Harrison, and Betty Alberg. The recorded program, written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe, was produced by James Casey and starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself.
I thought you might like to know Grandad's feeling a lot better now. I took him a bowl of cornflake crispies up as a peace offering, and then I told him about the steak and chips. He went white, but he didn't shout. He just said, Jim, listen how these cornflake crispies go snap, crackle, and pop. And then he poured the lot all over me head. Ta-ra!
Jimmy Clitheroe is now appearing in Variety at the Empire Theatre, Liverpool.
we present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid, with Peter Sinclair as grandfather, Patricia Burke as mother, Leonard Williams as Theodore Craythorpe, Danny Ross as Alfie Hall, and Diana Day as Susan in
The Trouble with Neighbours. Get in! Well, one more plank and the old log cabin will keep out all the Apaches and Blackfeet for miles around.
Jimmy, where are you?
Is that Calamity Jane a-calling for Wild Jimmy Cop? I'm on the ranch next door.
Oh, more of your silly games of bang bang, you're dead.
You're not Calamity Jane. You're a Blackfoot squaw. On second thoughts, though, you're more of a dirty neck.
Don't be so childish. Mrs. Higginbottom just phoned to say that Ozzy couldn't come to play with you because he has a bad cold in the head.
Well, it's his own fault. Yesterday, he was wearing Wellingtons, and all the way to school he kept jumping in puddles and splashing me and Charlie Thompson. So as soon as we got to school, Charlie grabbed his arms, I grabbed his legs, and we sat him in a fire bucket. Still, you wouldn't think that'd give him a cold in the head, would you?
You'll get into serious trouble one of these days. You shouldn't be over there anyway, playing on somebody else's lawn.
Lawn? You mean cabbage patch? Anyway, the house has been empty for months.
That doesn't mean you can build a dog kennel in the back garden.
This is a cowboy's log cabin. And if you've any more cracks to make, start running now. Because with that drainpipe skirt you've got on, I could grab me lasso and have you roped and branded before you could waddle 2 yards.
You are an infant. I can't be bothered to waste any more time on you. I've got to go to the library and back before Alfie comes for me.
Don't worry. If Alfie doesn't come for you, the van will. Sisters. Why couldn't me mum have had 2 sons? Or just me and a pup? Oh, well, I better get this last plank in. Oh, me blooming thumb. Oh, that's Ozzy's fault. If he'd been here, he'd have held the nail and I'd have hit him. You definitely need a mug to help with this sort of thing.
Hello, Jimmy. What are you doing?
I found one. Hello, Alfie. Come round the back into our garden. I've got a ladder here.
Yeah, hello, Jim. What are you doing in next door's garden?
Building a log cabin. Me granddad won't let me build one in our garden. Come on, give me a hand.
Well, I can't. I've got to meet Susan.
She's gone to the library. I've only one plank to nail. We'll be finished before she gets back.
You all right, then. Yeah, I'll climb over the fence.
Watch the ladder. There's a rung missing.
You what?
Careful, there's a rung missing.
Which one?
That's the one.
Oh, I've banged me funny bones.
Well, when you finish laughing, climb over.
You'll laugh on the other side of your face if I do.
Right, never mind. If you want to laugh, shout for Mr. Craythorpe. He's just going into our front door.
What for?
Just tell him you want him while I get me lasso. Go on.
Yeah, all right, then. Get Mr. Craythorpe. Mr. Craythorpe. Is that you shouting, Alfred? No, I was shouting Mr. Craythorpe. I mean, yes. Hey, come here, I want you.
Oh, you are a funny boy. What do you want me for?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not funny. You're peculiar. Why did you call me?
Look out, Alfie, while I rope me a redskin.
James, what are you... Oh, take this rope off my...
Oh, sorry, Mr. Craythorpe. I didn't mean to lasso your throat. Alfie is going blue. Rub his ears.
Yeah, Mr. Craythorpe. You breathe while I shove your chest in and out.
Let go, you monster. Stop squeezing me. I'm not an accordion.
What are you all doing out there?
Oh, just having a game, ma'am.
Well, don't you be bothering Mr. Craythorpe, Jimmy. Bring them in for a cup of tea.
Right, ma'am. Come on, tea up.
Well, there you are now. Come away into the living room. Pat's got a cup of tea made.
Hello, Mr. Sinclair. That is kind of her. But she shouldn't have troubled for me.
I wanted a cup. So she only needed to put more water in it for you. The way you like it, I don't call it tea.
What do you call it?
Oh, never mind. Well, here we are, Pat.
Oh, hello, Alfie. Susan won't be long. Sit down, and you too, Theodore. Oh, Jimmy, go into the kitchen and pour out the tea, son, will you? 2 without sugar.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand, Jim.
Right, Alfie, come on. Did you say 2 without sugar, ma'am?
Yes, I'm trying to get a bit off my waist.
You'll have to find it first.
That'll do, Jimmy.
I suppose you're a little surprised to see me here so early.
Whatever time you come, I'll still get a shock.
Take no notice of him, Theodore. Father has a strange sense of humour.
Yes, I never quite understand it. But then, I like Noel Coward, and Mr. Sinclair is more for Keyhole Kate.
Look here, Clitheroe.
Now, you two. Was there some special reason for you being early, Theodore?
Yes, I wondered if you'd heard that the house next door is sold.
No. Who bought it?
A man called Whittle. He was round at the housing committee about it the other day. I understood he was moving in today.
Oh.
Well, Jimmy better get the man's garden cleared. Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy!
What's up? You can't be that thirsty.
Listen, someone's taken the house next door, so you'll have to go straight out and take down that shed you've built in their garden.
The log cabin, if you don't mind. What the heck do they want to move in there for?
Well, people have to get houses where they can. Off you go now and clear it away.
Hey, can we talk them out of it? Tell them the house has got worms.
You mean woodworm?
Woodworms, glowworms, any blinking worms. Let's tell them the house is falling down.
Don't be silly. It's a very solid house.
Well, I could loosen a few bricks.
Oh, stop arguing and go and do as your mother tells you. Now, clear away that wooden hut.
For the last time, it's a blinking log cabin.
Now stop that shouting. You can't play in someone else's garden. And when we have a new neighbour moving in, we should try and help him all we can.
Exactly, and remember that, boy. This would be a better place if everybody helped their neighbour. As we go through life, we should give a helping hand wherever we can. No man is an island, and we each have a duty to the rest. A man's best friend shouldn't be a dog, it should be his fellow man, his neighbour.
Well, go on.
What do you mean, go on?
Well, you've given us a sermon. Aren't we going to sing a hymn?
Is Jimmy coming, Father? Oh, there he is. Jimmy! Jimmy, what have you been doing all this time?
Helping Mr. Whittle, our new neighbour. Running his errands and all that.
How much for?
Nothing clever. Since it's his first day, I did the errands free.
Oh, that was very kind of you, I'm sure. And did you pull down those old planks you'd nailed together? I mean your log cabin.
No, I told Mr. Whittle it was a tool shed and sold him it for $5 bob.
Aye, you're learning to be a real wee money grabber.
Aye, you're right there, teacher.
Mother, can we please have tea? I've spent an hour cooking this, and if we don't eat it soon, it'll be ruined.
If you cooked it, it's ruined anyway.
All right. Now, that'll do. Now, tell us about this Mr. Whittle.
Oh, yeah.
What you like?
Oh, he's a nice man, but I think he's foreign. He talks funny and keeps calling me Little Whacker.
Oh, he must be a Liverpool man.
Oh, aye, well, then they do have a funny kind of an accent, you know.
Anyway, let's sit down and have some tea. Come on.
We can't yet, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, you and Grandad said we have to look after our neighbours, so I asked Mr. Whittle to come for tea.
Oh, Jimmy, you shouldn't. Well, not without warning me. I've not tied it up properly.
Oh, he won't mind. I don't think he's what you call posh.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, while I was there, 3 of them were drinking out of one saucer.
3 of them?
Yeah, Mr. Whittle, his dad and the cat.
Oh, look.
That'll be him now. I'll let him in.
Jim, look, as soon as you bring him in, go down to the grocer's for a large tin of peaches. Oh, we better have a sweet.
Right, old ma'am.
Oh, dear.
I'll get that boy you're talking to when this fella leaves.
Come in, Mr. Whittle. Go in the room there. My mum's got the tea ready.
Right, yeah, Jim, me little whacker. I'll meander in and get me trotters in the trough.
Oh, he certainly isn't posh. Oh, come in, Mr. Whittle. I'm Mrs. Clitheroe.
Oh, thank very much. Now, don't try to tell me someone as young as you is Jim's mother. You're far too juvenile.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Whittle.
If you stuck on a pair of jeans, a sloppy Joe and a ponytail, the kids would say you were the best-looking Judy in the pally.
Mr. Whittle.
Huh?
I'm Mr. Sinclair, Jimmy's grandfather.
Oh, well, that I believe. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Pop. By, you look after the old fella, Mrs. Clitheroe, don't you? It's taken a bit of good grub to build his corporation.
Hey, Hey! Do you mind?
Oh, Mr. Whittle, this is my daughter, Susan.
And nearly as pretty as her mother. Hello, Sue.
Hello, Mr. Whittle. Mother, I'll just go and see to the meal.
Yes, thank you, Susan.
Well, now we bet you can drop the Mr. Whittle. I never like standing on ceremonial.
No.
My name's Harry, but all my pals call me Smiler on account of my highly undeveloped sense of humour. As my father, that's my old dad, always says, laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and you wet your muffler.
Well, as I
Have you ever noticed when people are sitting around miserable, if a bloke starts to chuckle, the laughter permutates right through the room?
Aye, as I was going
You don't say much, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Haven't had much chance.
No, the alpha egg does keep interrupting.
Well, blow me doon.
Did you say your father was with you, Mr. Whittle?
Yeah, that's right. Just me and my old dad. Mind you, he pulls his weight. He does all the cooking. He does all them fancy things, you know, omelettes, peas pudding, and that chicken Merianne.
Well, of course, I used to do a lot of cooking.
I'll tell you this, though. My dad's chocolate meringues, oh, they melt in your mouth. They go down without touching your throat.
Yes, my father was in the Navy, you see, and he used to cook.
I remember...
Well, you could have a good old chin wag with me dad. Oh.
Well, I can't talk to his son, that's certain. But I'll go and give Susan a hand.
Yes, all right, Father. Was your father in the Navy?
No, he's a retired lighthouse keeper. Of course, it's a funny life, you know.
Yeah.
He got home on only 3 days a month. When I was 9 years old, he was still asking me what my name was.
Oh, Mr. Whittle.
Oh, no, call me Harry or Smiler.
Yes, all right. Harry, my name's Pat.
What's the Algeezer's handle?
Pardon?
Your dad?
Oh, Peter, yeah.
He's a nice fella.
Yes.
Bit talkative, like. You know, when he talks in that Scotch voice, hasn't he got a funny mode of expression? Anyhow, as I was saying, we never saw much of my old fella, you know. He never drunk on duty. Oh, he's very strict about that. So he had to do a month's drinking in his 3 days off.
Mr. Whittle, there's an old gentleman leaning out of your kitchen window, ringing a bell and shouting.
Oh, that'll be me dad. I'll just open your window, Pat, if you don't mind, and see what the old fella's up to.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. Harry.
That's me dad. He says me tea's ready. I'll tell him. It's all right, Dad. I'm having a jar of tea in here. He's done some cow eel. Stick it in the oven, Dad, where the cat can't get at it.
Pat, I've had enough of that man Whittle. He's nothing but an interfering nuisance, and I feel like telling him so.
Oh, well, I must admit, Father, he pops in here at all sorts of odd hours. We don't seem to have any privacy anymore.
You're right, Mum. The way things are going, Grandad will have to try his new kilt on in the coal shed.
It's not funny, Jim. In only a week, he's borrowed milk, sugar, and cornflakes. He's used our phone 3 times and been in twice for his tea. I'll bet he's been in this house more times than the rent man.
I know, and he's had more luck.
Jimmy, that'll do. We all know you're making a fortune running his errands for him.
Oh, I don't just like him for his money. He makes me laugh when he talks. He's got a funny mode of expression, like, you know. It must be the way he uses his vocabulary.
Oh, that'll do, Jim. Now, just you keep quiet and read your comics or something.
I can't read me comics. You've still got them in your bedroom. And I hope you haven't made a mess of the Tiny Tots crossword again.
Jimmy, find something to read and keep quiet.
All right, I'll have a look at the Radio Times. Now, what's on the telly tonight? Oh, heck, ask me another. Hey, Grandad, there's amateur boxing on tonight. You like that, don't you?
Jimmy, quiet. I think I can hear someone coming up the garden path and the front door's open.
Well, if it's Laughing Boy Whittle again, I'm ready for him. It's about time that cuckoo was told to find another nest.
Oh, pardon the intrusion, won't you? I hope I'm not protruding.
Oh, not at all. Come and lay an egg, Mr. Cuckoo.
Jimmy.
Oh, what's this? The little whacker having a joke at my expense, eh? Well, as I always say to my old dad, Let's laugh today, because tomorrow we might be gone.
Well, I'm sure we'd miss you.
Is there something you want, Mr. Whittle?
Well, you can do me a small obligement, Pat. Could you warm this meat pie in your oven? You see, I've got a bob jammed in me meeting and I've run out of gas.
That'll be the day.
What was that little witty aside, young Wacker?
I said it'll be a big day for the army boxing team if they win the contest on the telly tonight.
Oh, yes, that I must see. When I was in the army, I was a dab hand at the old fisticuffs myself.
Yes, well, I'd better take that pie, Mr. Whittle.
Oh, ta, Mrs. C.
Be careful how you go, Father.
Mr. Whittle, did you ever get in the army boxing team?
I was light heavyweight champion of our division. Here to say, Peter, I don't suppose you've ever tried the noble art, have you? I mean, being Scotch, I suppose you're going for chucking that long pole about.
I presume you're referring to tossing the cable.
Aye, that's right. Seems daft to me. Still, you Scotch folks have you're a bit eccentrical about sport. It's a wonder you don't play football with a haggis.
Grandad, watch your temper. Your neck's going blotchy.
Mr. Whittle, it might surprise you to know that I was a boxing champion in the Merchant Navy.
Fancy that. I used to look forward to our scraps with the Merchant Navy. We used to give them a right tanning.
Is that a fact? Well, I'll tell you something, Whittle. The only army boxers I've ever met were a lot of loudmouth windbags who couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding.
Oh, do I detect something personal behind that little cloudburst?
Well, if the cat fits, you can wear it.
Oh. Now, listen, Jock. I've no intention of giving offence to an old man, I'm sure.
An old man? Jock? I'll take you on in the ring any time you like.
Hang on, Grandad, I'll phone Jack Solomon's.
I've got a slight suspicion I'm not wanted at this house.
Well, there's the door, Whittle, or would you rather go out through the window?
Oh, you can't chuck him through the window, it's just been cleaned.
Oh, well, if that's your attitude, I'll go and leave you to your own advices. Good day to you.
Well, that's got rid of him.
Oh, your pie shouldn't be long now, Harry. Oh, has he gone?
Aye. He tried to get cocky with me and I sent him away with a flea in his ear. He won't be coming round here anymore.
Oh, in that case, I'd better go and see him about tomorrow's errands.
Jimmy, you'll run no more errands for Whittle. You'll keep away from him.
But, Grandad, you can't do that to me. Remember what you said? As we go through life, we should give a helping hand wherever we can. And that's what I'm doing, at a bob a time.
Now, Jimmy, that'll do.
Jimmy, we don't want to hear any more.
But, Ma'am!
Stop arguing. Oh, and go and see who that is at the front door.
Oh, all right, Ma'am.
If it's Alfie, call him for our Susan. Take him in the front room. We don't want him upsetting your Grandad as well.
All right. Blinking grown-ups, stopping me errand money. Here I am, living right next door to an oil well, and they won't even let me fill my lamp. All right, I'm coming. Keep your vest on.
Oh, hello, Jim. Can I come in?
Not without saying the password.
What is it?
Here's a shilling.
Oh, not again. Yeah, every time I come round here, it's like a student drag week.
Oh, come in then. But mind you don't fall over the step, you might break the milk bottles.
Gee, don't worry. I've had enough trouble falling off that ladder. I've got a shocking bruise on me. Well, I'm not saying where it is, but the chemist wouldn't treat me for it till he pulled the blinds down.
Listen, I want to talk to you. It's urgent. Come in the Snoggers retreat.
The what?
The front room here. I'm in real trouble. And I've got less than half an hour to sort it out.
Ooh, you sound proper desperate.
Oh, there you are, Alfie. I just want a word with you.
Well, if you'll come back later, Alfred and me are having a private discussion. Man to man, or whatever he is.
Hello, Susan. Yeah, you're not ready for the dance yet, am I early?
No, it's my fault. I washed my hair and I can't get it dry.
Well, hang it on the clothesline.
That's enough from you. I'm sorry, Alfie, but I'll be at least a half an hour.
Yo, I don't mind waiting till you've made yourself look glamorous.
If you wait that long, we'll be charging you bed and breakfast.
Oh, you and your childish jokes. I'll be as quick as I can, Alfie.
Jimmy, sometimes I feel real sorry for Susan. I couldn't imagine anything worse than having you for a brother.
I could, having you.
You were asking for a deer full of knuckles.
I'm sorry, Alfie. I like you, really, because I think you're very clever. I bet you know all about television sets.
Well, I know a bit. I can work the on and off switch, and I know the right channel for Wells Fargo.
Good. You're just the expert I want. Now, all you've got to do is to nip up in our loft and disconnect the aerial.
Disconnect the aerial?
Grandad and Mr. Whittle have had a row. But if I can get Grandad invited next door to watch the boxing, that'll plant the seeds of friendship. And I'll be ready for the harvest. Are you receiving me?
All right, but I hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, don't worry. I'm all there with my cough drops. Now listen, you don't need the ladder. Mum's left the steps upstairs. You can use them.
Yeah, all right, Jimmy. Yeah, I suppose it's all for the best.
Yes, as long as you don't let Grandad catch you, or else there'll be another boxing match in our living room. Man Mountain Sinclair versus Sparrowlegs Alfie.
Oh, this is the limit, Jimmy. The boxing starts in 15 minutes and I can't get a picture on the TV set.
Well, perhaps you've got fluff in your vertical hold.
It was working all right last night. Here, Jimmy, you watch the screen while I lean over and try this knob at the back. There, Jim. Now, is anything happening?
Yes, the seat of your trousers is splitting.
Oh, why give up? You know, I was really looking forward to that boxing match.
You'll be sorry to miss it, won't you, Grandad?
Well, that, it just ruined my evening.
Fear not. Cinderella Sinclair shall see the boxing tonight. Mr. Whittle will have it on. I'll go and ask him to invite you round.
You do no such thing. I've got my pride, you know.
Oh, never mind your pride. You'll soon forget that when you've called the referee a few rude names. I'll go and ask him.
Jimmy, come back. You hear me?
So far, so good. Now, all I've got to do is to butter up old Whittle, and I'll be back on good times again. Who's coming up the garden path?
Hello there, little whacker. Is your granddad still in the house?
Oh, yes, he is.
Only I thought I'd come round and apologise, see if I could effect a reconsideration.
Oh, well, come in. We'll have a peace conference. He's in the living room here.
Oh, you're back, Jim. I suppose Windbag Whittle was out.
Windbag Whittle has called round to a jollipies.
What?
Hello, Jock. I just popped round to see if we couldn't put our heads together and bury the hatchet.
They're going to scalp each other.
I'm real sorry about that row, you know.
Oh, well, if you put it that way.
No hard feelings, then?
No, none at all.
Good. Give us your mitt. We'll shake on that.
Aye, certainly. Put it there.
Well, now you're pals again. What about the boxing on the telly, Mr. Whittle?
You are? I'm not with you, son.
Young Jim had the idea you might invite me round to your place to see it. You see, our set's not working.
Well, of course. You're as welcome as a pay rise in the police force. Oh, there's just one little snag.
What's that?
My set's not working either. It seems it's catching. There must be a hypodermic about, Pete?
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? We can find something else to do. I don't know what you've been doing to my local, the Rose and Crown Smiler.
That's a pleasure still in anticipation, Pete.
Well, if you'd care to wander down with me,
Delighted!
Wait a minute. You can watch the boxing here. All we've got to do is put the plug back in the aerial.
Oh, I see.
I'll just go and have a word with Lonely Heart in the front room. Make yourselves comfy. First performance commenced in 2 ticks.
Hey, look, you come back here and explain yourself. I wonder what that young rascal's been up to.
I've a strong suspicion he's been trying to patch up our little country temps, as the French say.
He couldn't have touched the aerial. He'd never reach that plug.
Well, knowing Jim, if that's what he wanted, he'd soon find some way around the predicament. After all, as they say, where there's a will, there's relations, eh?
Aye. I think I'm beginning to see daylight.
Well, it's all fixed. Normal service will be resumed as soon as Edmund Hillary's battled his way up the ladder again.
Who?
Alfie Hall. He's the one who did the unplugging for me.
Oh, Jimmy, you're a wee terror.
Well, it was for a good cause, Grandad. Hey, look, the picture started to come on. So we can all sit back and live happy ever after.
Oh, dearie goodness. Sounds like trouble up aloft.
Oh, heck. I'll bet Alfie's fallen again. Honestly, he spends more time on the floor than he does on his feet.
Jimmy, we'd better go up and see what's happened to Alfie.
Oh, there's no need. Here he comes with the Clitheroe Mountain Rescue Team. Mum and our Susan.
Oh dear, I've gone dizzy.
Alfie, what's happened to you?
Oh, it was terrible. I landed on my head and sprained my ankle.
Here, help me get him on the chair, Susan.
Right, Mother.
And give him some fresh air. Fan him with a kipper.
I'll have none of that, you. Alfie's told me all about your little scheme.
Yes, and thanks to your meddling stupidity, we can't go dancing now.
Why not? Alfie can manage the okey-cokey on one leg. Ooh, well, the picture's come on. Shall I turn up the sound?
Yes, Jimmy, but not too loud. I don't want it to waken you.
Oh, well, I'll just... Waken me?
Yes, you're going right up to bed.
Oh, but, Mum...
You're going to bed. You caused enough trouble for one day.
Now, don't be hard on him, Pat. I'm sure that Jimmy only done it with the best of motivations. So for once, couldn't you, overlook his little indistinction?
Go on, Mum. And I promise I'll never interfere again. The next time Grandad and Mr. Whittle want to have a fight, I'll just hold the coats and fetch him a bucket.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, and Diana Day. The recorded program, written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe, was produced by James Casey and starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself.
The Clitheroe Kid was recorded by the BBC.
We present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid, with Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, and Diana Day in...
The Girl Who Got the Message.
Jimmy, will you stand still for a wee minute while I'm talking to you?
Well, Mr. Whittle's waiting for me next door. I should have been there 10 minutes ago.
Never mind Whacker Whittle. Now, I've got to go out, Jimmy. But I've had strict instructions from your mother.
Well, do as she says. When you're at the Rose and Crown, as soon as you feel like singing Annie Laurie, come home.
Now, Jimmy, you never mind about the jokes. The instructions were about you.
I'm not going to the Rose and Crown. I'm going to see Mr. Whittle.
Oh, but you're not. You've got to stay here till Alfie Hall arrives and give him a message. Then you can go next door and listen to Liverpool's Billy Liar all night.
Oh, Mr. Whittle's dad was going to let me have a look at his ships that he made when he was a lighthouse keeper. He's dead clever, Grandad. They're all in bottles.
Oh, that's not clever. Anyone who's been to sea knows how to do that.
I bet you couldn't.
Of course I could. You see, all you do is to empty the bottle, fold the ship down, push it in, and pull a little string to raise the sails.
By the time you empty the bottle, you wouldn't be able to find the ship.
No, that'll be enough of that.
Hello there, is young Jimmy.
Yes, come in, Mr. Whittle.
Oh, it's you, Whittle.
Hello there, Pete. Well, it's a broad, bricked, moonlit, nicked to dick. As you whiskey swillers say.
Now, Whittle, just before you
Hey,
start...
what's up, Jim? I thought he was coming over to see the old fella's boats. He doesn't like to be kept waiting. You see, he's getting on, you know. And he gets a bit cantankerous.
You want to try rubbing it with embrocational?
Now, if you two Oxford Donalds keep quiet a minute, I've got a message for Jimmy. Now listen. When Alfie Hall gets here, tell him your mother had a phone call from Susan to say she's working over, and he is to ring her the minute he arrives here to find out what time she'll be home. Your mother was dashing out, so she passed it on to me, and I'm passing it to you.
Then I pass it to Alfie and he heads it in.
Well, anyway, now don't forget to tell Alfie. Well, I'll be getting away now. And don't you go next door till Alfie Hall arrives, remember? Well, goodbye.
Bye, Grandad.
Cheerio, Jock. I might see you later. Well, Jim, it's a bit of a nuisance having to wait for Alfie.
Oh, he's a dope the way he chases after all, Susan. He's like a little soft puppy. It's no wonder he doesn't run and fetch your slippers in his mouth.
Don't be hard on him, Jim.
That'll be Susan's pet spaniel now. I'll let him in.
Well, watch what you say, Jim, or he might bite.
You ain't none but a hound dog. You ain't done...
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Alfie. Oh, oh, come in.
Yeah, thank you.
Wipe your paws on the map.
You all right? Yeah, it's Susan, then.
I've got some bad news for you, Romeo. Juliet is doing a bit of overtime. So you'll have to sit on your own balcony.
What?
Hello there, Alfie. How's Trix?
Oh, all right, thanks. Jimmy, what did he say about Juliet? Susan, I mean.
She's working overtime and she wants you to phone her up. But if I was you, I'd run for it now while you've got the chance, before Dracula's daughter can get her hands on you again.
Now, Jimmy, don't you be calling Susan names to me in front of me back behind her face. I mean, behind my face in front of her face at the back, in front of my beak. Did you think it's going to rain?
No, but I should keep your cap on.
Why?
It'll give you something to do with your head. What do you want to know about the rain for?
Because if it's going to rain, I'll go down to Susan's office with her umbrella, then she won't get wet.
She's been all wet for years. Oh, you're a big mug, you are. Fancy going all that way to keep the rain off a blooming girl.
You'll think differently when you're grown up. Oh, man, look after the girls.
Now, Alfie, that's not true everywhere. Out east, they have a different way of going on. There, the ladies is just chatterleys. In places like Mesopotamia, the kings there is called sultans, and their wives is sultanas.
What are the kids, raisins?
Yeah, but they're not like our girls.
The what?
They're not like our girls.
What? Them sultans always pick the best-looking Judies around. And the Judies do themselves up lovely with lipstick, powder, and all them cosmeticals. Of course, the eyes are the things the men go for most. So these birds spend hours doing up their eyelashes with that cascara.
But those foreigners, they have more than one wife, don't they?
Oh, aye. They're what you call polymygus.
Polly what?
No, that's a word you wouldn't understand, Jim. It means they have two wives. There's words for all numbers if you know them. I mean, if a bloke has one wife, that's monotony. And if he has two, that's polyagony. And of course, if you've got a dozen, that's trigonometry.
You know what? Trigonometry is like arithmetic. You know, multiplying and that.
Well, there's bound to be a bit of multiplying when the Sultan's got a dozen wives.
Jimmy, will you stop moaning? I just happened to be passing your school at 4 o'clock, so I waited for you. What's wrong with that?
Everything. Ozzie and Charlie Thompson saw you. Tomorrow they'll have all the class calling me Mummy's boy. And I'll have to fight somebody.
You'll do no such thing. Anyway, even if the others call you Ozzie, won't he? He's your pal.
I hope he does. Ozzie's the only one I'm sure I can beat.
Strikes me, your class is full of little hooligans.
Oh, heck, hurry up, ma'am. Come on.
What's the sudden rush for?
Blooming Shirley Peters is just crossing the road.
I'm not dashing away from Shirley. She's a very sweet child.
But she's a girl. If Charlie Thompson sees me talking to a girl as well as you, I've really had it then.
Don't be so stupid.
Ma'am, anyone in the Black Hand Gang seen out with a girl has to crawl on his hands and knees in front of all the others.
That's a silly thing to do.
It's painful as well. The rest of the gang follow you wearing football boots. Hello, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Oh, hello, Shirley.
Hello, Timmy. Hello. I was wanting to see you, Jimmy. Well, now you know what to look like. You'd better go home.
Don't you be so rude.
Oh, he was only joking, weren't you? Yes, ha, blooming ha. Daddy's got 2 free tickets for the circus, and I wondered if Jimmy would like to come with me.
Oh, that is kind of you, Shirley. You've been wanting to see the circus, haven't you, Jim?
Oh, yes. No. Anyway, I can't go tonight. I've got too much homework. Oh, they're not for tonight. Oh, well, tomorrow night's the same. I was going to ask Ozzy to go on Saturday afternoon.
My ticket for the Saturday afternoon.
Well, I can't leave Ozzy, my best pal.
Well, I'll ask Daddy to get another ticket.
Oh, no. I mean, I'll have to stay with Ozzy on Saturday. He's going to be ill. His mother's ill, so he's got to cook her food and all that.
Well, why does he want you there?
To help him with his mother. You see, he's a rotten cook, and I might have to hold her down while he feeds her. That's a joke. Well, ta-ra.
Jimmy, don't you tell lies. I'm sorry, Shirley. You see, he's afraid of this stupid gang he belongs to. He doesn't want them to see him with a girl.
That's right, Shirley. It's not your fault. I mean, you can't help being a soppy girl.
Jimmy, now you apologize. Say you're sorry. Go on.
Oh, it's all right, Mrs. Clitheroe. I don't want Jimmy to do anything he doesn't want to do.
Oh, but I am sorry, Shirley.
Are you really, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm very sorry for you. If I was a soppy girl, I'd be sorry for myself.
Jimmy, I told you to apologize. Shirley is not a soppy girl.
Well, with those pigtails and that dress, if she's not a girl, our biology master's been talking a lot of rubbish. They'll not stop me going to the circus. Anyway, it'll be easier to get in on Friday afternoon. Come on, Ozzy. Hello, is that Higginbottom's? Oh, hello, Mr. Higginbottom. Can I speak to your Ozzy, please? He's digging up some worms in the garden. Hasn't he had his tea yet? Oh, no, Mr. Higginbottom, I'm not trying to be clever. It's just that the lads always call Ozzy Brainy Bird. Clever, you know. Yes, I'll hold on. Hello? Is that you, Sparrowlegs? Hey, your dad's in a bad mood. What's wrong with him? Has he been eating your mother's cooking again? All right, I'm only joking. Listen, we're going to the circus. You and me, tomorrow afternoon. I know it's Friday. We're going to play truant. There's no lessons tomorrow afternoon. We're rehearsing for prize day. Yes, we'll be stuck in the hall all afternoon yodeling nymphs and shepherds. Nymphs and shepherds. You know, nymphs and shepherds. Come away, come away. That's when the two black sheep will leave the fold and nip off to the circus. Yes, you and me. Hey, wasn't that a smashing circus, Ozzy? Haven't you finished eating yet? You've been stuffing all afternoon. Your mother's expecting you to come home from school hungry. She'll have your tea waiting for you in the trough.
Hello there, James. Oswald.
Hello, Mr. Craythorpe. You're home from work early?
Yes, I dodged away a little early. I'm playing truant.
Sorry. That's funny. Oh, you clot. Get on with your dinner, or I'll give you a mouthful of knuckles for afters. Oh, tell your dad of me. You scared of Foghorn Fred. Good riddance.
James, that was most unkind.
Well, he's a big blabbermouth.
You shouldn't have struck him. Anyway, is it true that you played truant?
All right, yes. But don't let on, will you, Mr. Craythorpe?
Certainly not. I can keep a secret.
Well, to make sure, spit your promise.
I beg your pardon.
Cross your heart, put your finger across your throat, say honour bright and spit.
I'll do no such thing.
You're going to tell on us, telltale tit.
I am not.
Well, spit your promise then.
No, really.
Oh, go on.
Oh, very well. This is most ridiculous still. Cross my heart, my throat, honour bright.
Hey! Watch where you're aiming.
Well, you asked for it. Now, after all that, did you enjoy the circus?
Oh, it was great. Clowns, acrobats, lions, monkeys, and the best thing of the lot was a mule nobody could ride. He asked for volunteers, But everybody was scared except Ozzy.
Oh, did Oswald volunteer?
Well, not exactly. I volunteered for him. I told him he'd dropped a chocolate, and when he stood up to find it, I gave him a push. The mule did the rest.
Oh, James, you're a little terror. You know, I thought there was something strange when little Shirley Peters told me she had a letter for your mother from your headmaster, Mr. Treadwell.
What? Oh, no. I bet she gave us away. That letter will be telling me Mum we played truant. She'll murder me. And that's nothing to what he'll do to me. Old Toby Jug Treadwell.
Oh, James, you are in trouble.
Wait a minute. There's one hope. Mum won't be home till about 8 o'clock, so if I can get the letter off Shirley and tear it up, I'll be all right.
But, Toby Jug, Mr. Treadwell will still deal with you severely on Monday.
Not if I take a letter on Monday from me granddad saying I was ill.
But your grandfather wouldn't write that.
No, I've got to find a mug.
But who?
What do you like at forging in Scotch? Come on, Shirley, drink up. Have another lemonade.
Oh, no, thank you, Jimmy. I couldn't. I was surprised when you rang up and asked me to meet you at the milk bar.
Well, I wanted to make up for being rude to you yesterday.
Oh, that's forgotten now, Jimmy.
Will you have some more ice cream?
No, thanks. But you have one.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, go on. What we've had up to now has only cost me 2 shillings, so I've still got 1 and 6 left.
Oh, righto, then. But next time we live it up, the treat's on me.
Oh, thanks.
Now, come on, have another ice cream. Mister, 2 more strawberry ices, please.
Oh, all right. You are kind, Jimmy.
Oh, that's all right. You'd better give me that other 1 and 6. Thanks. I was just wondering whether you'd do me a favour.
Of course I would.
Well, would you give me that letter you've got for me mum and never mention a word to anybody?
Well, I would, Jimmy.
Oh, good.
But I haven't got it.
Well, don't sit there stuffing your face. Go and get... would you mind getting it for me, please? Sure.
Well, I can't. I called at your house and gave it to Susan. She put it in her handbag.
What? You mean I've been sat here risking my reputation for nothing? Mister, cancel one of them strawberry ices. Miss Clueless of 1961 is leaving.
Grandad, what time did Mother say she'd be back?
Oh, about 8 o'clock, Susan.
Oh, well, I'd better wash up the tea things for her.
No, Susan, leave it to me. You sit down and relax. I'll do the washing up in your handbag. In the kitchen.
What's the catch?
Well, there is no catch.
You're getting very considerate about Susan all of a sudden.
Oh, well, she's got the letter. She's got the message. She's very clever. You can't fool her, you know.
No, you can't. What are you up to?
Nothing, Susan. I was just thinking... When you live with your sister and see her every day, you forget how beautiful she is. And looking at you reminds me, we've got no soap powder.
Jimmy, what are you blathering about?
They're washing up, Grandad. I'll nip out for the soap powder before the shop shuts. I'll just borrow the money out of Susan's handbag.
You leave that handbag alone, and we've got plenty of soap powder. 4 packets of it. Enough to wash your neck clean.
Oh, jolly good, eh, Grandad? Ooh, when Susan cracks her jokes, she reminds me of Billy Bunter. Especially from the back.
What was that?
I said, why don't you go in the back garden with Grandad? The fresh air would do you both good.
Not me, Jim. I'll be popping up for my fresh air later on.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Still, it's a funny place to get fresh air. The smoke room at the Rose and Crown.
Now, look, I'm only going down there because of a few empties to take back.
Take 'em in our Susan's handbag.
What do you keep talking about my handbag for?
Oh, it's a word I've got on the brain. I keep saying it. When our history master asked me what animal took with him over the Alps, I said, a handbag.
You told him that?
Yes. I said, Hannibal carried a handbag and the elephants carried the trunks.
Wonder who that is.
It's it's probably Alfie. He said he'd call round. I'll let him in.
No, Susan, I'll let him in. I just want a quick word with him, in private.
Well, take him in the front room. Tell him I won't be long.
Right, Susan.
Hello, Jimmy. It's me, Alfie.
In that crash helmet, I thought it was Mickey the Martian. Come in.
Start, Jimmy. Ooh, I've had a job getting here. You see, my motorbike conked out and I tried to fix it with a spanner, but I forgot it was raining. And while I was bent down cleaning my carburetor, a bus come past and splashed mud all over me from front wheel to tool bag. It is Friday, isn't it?
Yes, the day we have fish. Come in the front room, Cod's head.
Yeah, only I told Susan I'd call around Friday night to arrange about going to the circus.
Don't mention the circus to me. I'm fed up.
Why? What's your trouble?
Girls. Daft, soppy, blinking girls. If I had a magic wand, I'd turn them all into mice and buy a cat.
Look, I'll bet if you did turn your Susan into a mouse, you'd still like me.
Of course you would. Mice are very fond of a bit of gorgonzola.
Now, that'll do. Look, if Susan were a mouse, we'd still get on fine, because she knows I like a little pet. Yeah, anyway, what's up?
Well, I gave Shirley Peters the brush off. Then I played to it for school, and they gave Shirley a note for my mum, and Shirley gave it to Aunt Susan, and I can't get it off her, and Mum will be back at 8 o'clock, and I need help. So you'll do it, won't you?
Yes.
Good.
Do what?
Get some dust in your eye.
Yeah, oh, that's dead easy, because I love it. What for?
So you can ask Susan for the mirror out of her handbag and whip the note.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but what note?
Look, just get the handbag off her. I'll do the brain work.
Jimmy.
What?
Where can I get some dust?
Just tilt your head to one side and shake it. Look, you don't need any dust. You just pretend you've got some in your eye.
Are you in here, Alfie?
Oh, look out, she's here.
Hello, Susan. You look a bit tired. Can I borrow the bags from under your eyes? I've got some dust in my eyes.
Oh, dear. Let me see. Tilt your head back.
But Susan, I'm all right.
Now then, Alfie, keep still. I'll just go and get a handkerchief.
Ask her for the mirror, you clot.
Oh, all right.
Here we are. Now then.
Can I have the mirror, you clock?
Keep still. I'm going to probe under your eyelid. Which one is it?
It's the one in your handbag.
What are you talking about?
Look, leave him alone. He can get it out himself. All he needs is your handbag and the sugar tongs.
Look, you're after my handbag for something, but you're not having it.
Oh, well, keep your rotten old handbag. It suits you, especially your face. It's crocodile skin.
That doesn't. I'll smack you for that.
Get off! Ow, me! Alfie, do something. Clout it with the piano or something.
You cheeky young monkey.
Here, now, stop it, you two. Susan, what are you doing?
I'm teaching my delinquent brother some manners. It's time he learned to behave like a gentleman.
Oh, listen to the Duchess of Dishwater. She thinks she's everybody just because she drinks a tea with her little finger stuck in the air.
Now, that'll do, Jimmy. Now, your mother's just been on the phone. You've got to go to Theodore Craythorpe's and ask him to come round here.
Oh, Grandad, I can't go now. I've got something important to do.
Jimmy, do as you're told. Tell Theodore he's to bring the books round for the Women's Guild Social Committee. Now, off you go.
Oh, all right, I'll go. But if my mum gets back before me, tell her there's a very simple answer to the whole thing. If I could only think of it.
Jimmy was trying to get that envelope from me before I gave it to you.
But why? It's only a free ticket for the football match tomorrow. Jimmy said they were expecting some sort of reward for winning the Junior Shield.
Well, why didn't they just give it to him at the school this afternoon?
Perhaps he wasn't at school this afternoon.
Oh, of course he was. He must have been. Otherwise, they'd have missed him in class.
Wait a minute, Pat. All they were doing this afternoon was the rehearsal for speech day. He could have slipped away without being noticed.
Well, where would he have gone?
To the circus, perhaps?
Oh, the circus. Susan, I think you've got something there. He didn't want to go with Shirley tomorrow, so I bet he sneaked off from school this afternoon.
The young scamp.
If I find out he did go to the circus, I'll warm the tail of his shirt for him.
Well, there's one simple way to make sure. We'll set a trap for him.
Oh, what do you mean, Mother?
Well, look, he thinks this letter is about him playing truant. So, if we leave it on the mantelpiece, he'll think I haven't seen it. And when he gets back, we'll watch him from the kitchen. For once, that little eavesdropper is going to be eavesdropped on himself.
Come in, Mr. Craythorpe. And don't make a sound.
But, James, I still don't understand.
Quiet! We mustn't make a noise, so take your shoes and socks off.
James, don't be so ridiculous. For the last time.
I want to listen. Not a sound. They must be out. Look, I've got to do some quick thinking about that letter. Hey!
What?
There it is, on the mantelpiece. Mum can't have read it yet, so all I've got to do is to get...
Hello, Jim.
Oh, Grandad. Did you have to sneak in like that? It's all right, Mr. Craythorpe. You can come out from behind the sofa.
Sorry if I startled you, Jim. Theodore, what would you playing that creeping in like that?
Well, Mr. Sinclair, I was going to...
You didn't want to waken anybody, did you?
Yes, that's right.
But it's only just turned 8 o'clock, Theodore. We don't go to bed that early.
Quite, I mean...
The dog.
It was the dog I didn't want to waken.
We haven't got a dog.
Haven't you? Oh, of course. But you used to have one.
That's right. It left home the day after Grandad had his bagpipes mended.
Jimmy, now stop telling your fibs. Well, now, you're both here. We can have a nice, cosy little chat, can't we, Jimmy?
Yes. I mean, hey, Grandad, isn't that somebody shouting for you outside the house?
What? I never heard anything.
Well, I'm sure I did. And I'm sure Mr. Craythorpe did, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yes, I thought I heard something.
Yeah, that's right. It could be your pal, Mr. Barnes, asking if you want to go fishing.
Well, I wonder how he expects the fish to bite in the pitch dark.
He's probably got some glowworms. Grandad, why don't you make Mr. Craythorpe a cup of tea in the kitchen?
All right, I'll do that. I just fancy one myself.
Good. But don't forget, Mr. Craythorpe doesn't like it strong, so before you put the tea leaves in, I should count them.
Well, I'll leave you to it then. I won't be long, Jim.
That's all right, Grandad. Take your time.
Well, Father?
You're right, Pat. He's definitely up to something. I think your little trap's going to work.
Shh, Grandad, listen. Quick, Mr. Craythorpe, hand it down to me.
What, Jane?
That letter on top of the clock. It's too high for me to reach.
Look at that. He's getting Theodore to help him.
Oh, I see. It's addressed to your mother.
Oh, give it here.
Jane, it's rude to snatch.
There it goes, straight on the fire.
Jane, you burned it. What's the idea?
Now I've got rid of it, Mum can't touch me. As James Cagney said in that gangster film on the telly the other night, listen, you guys, you can't convict a guy without evidence, because if you do, it's a bum rap, see? Come on, let's see how Grandad's getting on.
Hello, Jimmy.
What? Oh, heck, it's Mum. I thought you were out.
I came in the back way. Well, Jimmy, aren't you pleased?
Oh, yes, I'm very pleased. Very pleased indeed. But I'd be a lot more pleased if I knew what I was pleased about.
Your free ticket for the football match tomorrow.
Oh, that! What free ticket?
Look, just pop into the living room for me, and you'll find a letter on the mantelpiece.
A letter?
Yes, addressed to me. Just bring it to me, will you?
You want the letter?
Yes, hurry up.
But, Mum, how do you know there is a letter there?
Because I put it there myself after I'd opened it.
You mean you saw what was inside it?
Yes, I did.
Well, I can explain everything. It was Ozzy's fault. He planned it, and Charlie Thompson gave us a leg up over the school wall. I'm innocent.
What are you talking about?
The message from the school saying I've played truant.
There was no message. The only thing in that envelope was your free ticket to the football match.
Oh, that's different. Well, ignore what I said just now. I was feverish. I'll just go and get the letter.
You'll find it in the fire, Jimmy.
That's right, Mum. I'll find it in the letter. I burnt it. I burnt the letter with the ticket in. Mr. Craythorpe, you gave it to me. You let me burn the letter. And you, Mum and Grandad, you were spying
think he's burned the letter.
I took the ticket out of the letter. Here it is.
Oh, it's all very well telling me now that when I've burnt it, but I haven't burnt it, have I? Everything's all right.
Yes, well, perhaps this'll stop you poking your nose into other people's private mail.
Aye, you'd have far too much prying for a boy of your age.
Me? Prying? Well, listen who's talking. The two snoopers from behind the kitchen door. Peeping Pete and Keyhole Kate.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams, Danny Ross, Diana Day. The recorded program, written and produced by James Casey, starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself. We present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid with Peter Sinclair as grandfather, Patricia Burke as mother, Leonard Williams as Theodore Craythorpe, Danny Ross as Alfie Hall, and Diana Day as Susan in
The Not So Welcome Guest.
Here's a cup of tea, Mr. Craythorpe.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Susan.
And yours, Grandad.
Oh, thanks, my dear.
You say Mrs. Clitheroe left only 5 minutes ago?
Ah, and it's a pity you didn't get here sooner, then you'd be gone as well.
He means you could have walked down to the shops with her.
Oh, I see.
What's doing up there?
Who?
Jimmy is up the stairs.
It sounds as though he's coming down and bringing the ceiling with him.
He's in my bedroom. Excuse me while I go and see what he's up to.
He was at the zoo yesterday. You'll probably find he's borrowed one of the elephants.
That's right. Joke about it. They ruin him in this house. He can get away with anything just because he's a boy. If he's throwing my things about, I'll throw him. What are you doing?
Hey, yo!
Oh, you little...
Why don't you look where you're going?
Me? I walk in my own bedroom and you hurl yourself at me.
I was doing somersaults over the bed. I'm practicing for the gym display at school.
Well, you're not using my bed. Look, you've made a blinking great hollow in the middle of the mattress.
So what? If you lie on your back, you could fill one twice as big as that.
I'll smack you. I will.
I'm not scared of a soppy girl.
We'll see. Come here, you little imp.
Oh, get off. Help! Grandad! Help! Oh, Susan's gone mad. Send for the vet.
Oh, no. You're not scared, crouching behind the bed like a frightened mouse.
Oh, yes. Well, this mouse has got a pillar, so you better watch it, or the cat'll get herself a smack in the puss.
You wouldn't dare throw that pillow at me.
Oh, no. I'll give you 3 to get out of this room. 1. Are you going?
No.
2. I mean it.
Go on.
2.5. It's your last chance.
I'm not moving.
Right. 3. Oh, heck, it's gone.
Now you've done it. Wait till I tell Mother you threw a pillow out of the window.
It was your fault you moved. Where's it gone? Oh, it's on the coal house roof.
Mother only put that pillowcase on this morning. It'll be black now.
Well, when you put your head on it, it'll make your face look clean. Anyway, I've only got to get the ladder and it'll be down in 2 ticks.
Grandad said that ladder is dangerous. It was creaking like mad when he was on it yesterday.
No wonder with his weight on it. Don't forget he's got a built-in barrel. I'll get Mr. Craythorpe to go up. I'll bet he doesn't weigh more than 6 stone wringing wet. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with you. Who goes up the ladder?
I think you all spoil him, Grandad. You treat it as a joke, and Mr. Craythorpe goes out to climb up and get the pillow for him.
Now, Susan, it was only a boyish prank. It'll do, Craythorpe. Good to get a bit of exercise.
Susan, Have you got something Mr. Craythorpe can put on to keep his clothes tidy?
Hasn't he got that pillow down yet?
Got it down? The way things are going, it'd be quicker to make Susan's bed on the coal house roof. Honestly, you'd think he was climbing Mount Everest.
You are ungrateful.
All right, look, he can't reach the pillar from the ladder. He'll have to lay across the roof, so he wants something to put over his suit. Your apron'll do.
He doesn't want to wear an apron.
Why not? He was wearing one the other day when I called at their house. He was cooking the dinner.
Well, that's because his sister is away for a fortnight.
This was before his sister went away. She was in the garden chopping wood.
Oh, here you are then. Take the apron.
Theodore will be glad when his sister does come back.
Why, is he running short of wood?
No, he's having to run away from Mrs. Eccles.
Fatty Eccles? Well, he won't have to run so fast to lose her. What a size! She dashed after a bus the other day, and her feet were on the platform for 2 minutes before the rest of us stopped running.
Aye. But she's a widow looking for a second husband. And they always say...
Grandad, you don't want to be telling him things like that. He's only a child.
Oh, Grandmama, what a big mouth you've got.
Aye, you're right, Susan. I just didn't think. Now, off you go, Jim, and take that mountaineer his apron.
Oh, heck, I forgot Sherpa Craythorpe was still up his ladder. Here you are, Mr. Craythorpe. I borrowed an apron for you.
You've had time to make me one. Here, tied behind my back. Thank you. Now hold the ladder.
Right, Mr. Craythorpe, up you go.
I don't know why I let you talk me into these things, James. There, got it. Here, catch the pillow.
Right, throw it. Thanks, Mr. Craythorpe, you're a pal.
Hold tight, James. I'm coming down the ladder now.
I'll just go and show Scraggy Annie that her pillar's safe. Here you are, nuisance. There's your blinking pillar.
Thank you for nothing.
Now, Susan, you've got it back, and it's not marked very much.
She's got no manners, Grandad.
I'll thank Mr. Craythorpe, not you.
Where is Edmund Hillary?
He's coming down the ladder. Oh, heck, I've got to hold it while he comes down. I think he's managed to get down without my help.
Is there anything else I can do, Mother?
No, thank you, Susan. Theodore's resting quite comfortably now. In fact, he looks as though he'll be asleep in a moment.
Has the doctor gone?
Yes, Grandad's just taken him downstairs. He says Theodore will have to be in bed for at least a week.
If it was anything to do with me, Jimmy wouldn't be able to sit down for a week.
Well, it isn't anything to do with you, Nosy Parker.
Now, Jimmy, don't you start again. Susan's quite right. You deserve a good spanking. And Grandad would have given you one if Mr. Craythorpe hadn't stuck up for you.
Well, I'm letting Grandad have my bedroom, and I'm sharing with Mr. Craythorpe. And that spare bed's lumpy, you know.
Oh, what a shame. For a whole week, the poor little boy will miss his beauty sleep.
From the look of your mug, you've been missing yours for years.
If you started me once more...
All right, that's enough. Mr. Craythorpe's resting in the bedroom there.
That's right, Mum, you tell her.
I'm telling you both.
I wasn't shouting, it was loudmouth Lizzie here.
Now then. Now, what are you up to now, Jimmy?
Well, I like that. I get blamed for everything. If Susan hadn't come up to the bedroom in the first place, I wouldn't have thrown the pillow at her.
That's enough, Jimmy.
All right now. Calm down now. Get away to your bed.
Nobody likes me.
Stop trying to get sympathy. I suppose you say it was my fault for not closing the window.
Yes. Or better still, instead of closing the window, when I threw the pillar, you could have opened your mouth and swallowed it.
Jimmy, you've said enough. Now, come on, off you go.
Oh, Mum, it's early
You
yet.
heard your mother. Go on now.
Oh,
Off to bed.
right. I'm going. Good night, Mum.
Good night, son.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, Grandad. Susan, good riddance. Oh, look at Sleeping Beauty. Mr. Craythorpe. Hey, Mr. Craythorpe. Rip Van Winkle.
What's that?
Oh, are you awake?
I am now. What is it, James?
I just thought that while I'm getting ready for bed, you might like to have a chat, since you can't sleep.
I'm sure you're very kind.
but I have no intention of staying awake to talk to you.
Are you going to talk to me in your sleep? Me granddad talks in his sleep.
Well, I don't. Good night.
He got cross when I shared his room.
I wonder why.
Well, every time he talked in his sleep, I woke him up to listen to himself.
That's very interesting. Now, good night.
He sings as well.
I'm sure that the neighbours must love it. Go to sleep.
I belong to Glasgow, a dear old Glasgow town.
James!
That's what my granddad sings in his sleep.
I don't care. I feel very tempted to put you to sleep to see whether you sing.
I don't, but granddad says I snore and whistle.
Yes, well, if you go to sleep, I might be able to hear it for myself.
I'll show you now.
James, will you keep quiet?
I'm sorry, but you said you wanted to hear it.
Well, I've changed my mind. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Craythorpe. Hey, how do you know anyway?
How do I know what?
That you don't talk in your sleep. You said you didn't.
I don't know. It's so long since I had any sleep. For all I know, I do cartwheels all over the bedroom or dance the Highland Flake. The last time, good night.
Good night, Mr. Craythorpe.
What now? Are you lying on a feather?
No, I was just thinking of you doing the Highland Fling in your nightshirt.
If there is one more interruption from you, I shall chastise you most severely.
I'm sorry, Mr. Craythorpe. I didn't know you were getting bad-tempered.
Well, I am bad-tempered. I'm furious.
You know what's wrong with you, don't you?
What?
You're not getting enough sleep.
Pat, how long is that noise going to go on?
Now, Father, it's very kind of Theodore to help Jimmy with his music lessons. After all, you suggested that it would be easier if I made up a bed for Theodore in the front room.
Well, it saved you having to carry his food upstairs. And anyway, I wanted my own bed back.
Yeah, that's the real truth.
All right.
I'm going down to the shops, but I don't want you going in there while I'm out. Oh, that'll be Alfie Hall for our Susan. I'll let him in on my way out.
Well, for once I'll be glad to hear him gabbling. It might drown the noise of that little rusty Conway in there.
Hello, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Hello, Alfie. I'm just going out. So would you like to go on in the living room and chat with Mr. Sinclair? Susan's upstairs, but she won't be long.
You're right, yeah. I suppose that piano pounding means Mr. Craythorpe's still with you, so I expect I'll have to take your Susan out again, because it's no use going in your front room when he's on our sofa. I don't mean that I don't want to take her out, but we've seen the same picture 3 times this week, and the manager keeps sneaking around flashing his torch on us on the back row. Had you heard him?
Yes, I had it permed at the pictures. I mean, at the hairdressers. Oh, look, Alfie, go and talk to Jim's granddad, will you, please?
That's all. Ta-da.
Goodbye.
Hello, Alfie. Have you come to hear the recital?
No, I didn't know you were reciting. I'd like to hear you, though.
I meant the musical recital. Mind you, I'd like to give Craythorpe a short, sharp version of this Sailor's Farewell.
Oh, I don't know that one. But there's one I remember when I was a kid. Said the big black rooster to the little brown hen, you haven't laid a egg since heaven knows when. Said the little brown hen to the big black rooster, you don't come round as often as you used to.
Oh, Alfie, that's the first laugh I've had since Craythorpe fell off that ladder. Oh, no, I can't stand any more. Jimmy, come here.
Yeah, you all right, Mr. Sinclair?
I am now.
What do you want, Grandad?
Peace and quiet. Now sit down. I've had all the music I can take.
It just goes to show music doesn't always soothe the savage beast.
Carry on, Jim. I'd sooner have your funny little cracks than hear you murdering an innocent piano.
Well, I don't want to do the blinking piano practice anyway. It's crazy Otto in there. I'd like to stick his conch in the piano wires.
I think we'll all be glad to see the back of him.
What's that?
It's Mr. Whittle tapping on the window.
Oh, no. Well, that does it. I couldn't stand laughing boy Whittle on top of everything else.
Well, I'll have to let him in, Grandad.
You're all right, but I'll get my coat and you can let me out at the same time.
All right, Grandad.
Oh, there be little whacker.
Hello, Mr. Whittle. Come in.
Ciao very much, Jim. Hey, Jim, I seen your man up the road, and she tells me you've got a casualty in the house.
Yes, it's Mr. Craythorpe, and he's not the only one. He's had me on the piano that long, I think I've sprayed me tiddlywink finger.
I heard the tin from next door. But it's not as bad as your old Grandad's bagpipes. Oh, I'm not kidding, Jim. If Robert the Bruce played the bagpipes, it's no wonder the spider went up the wall.
Hello there, Whittle. I wasn't sure whether that was your voice or they were testing the air raid sounds again.
Oh, hello there, Pete. My, what a sight you are in that taffy overcoat and the kilt. You look a right body, Charlie.
I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you. I've got some urgent business on.
Oh, I didn't know they were open yet, Jock. Anyway, I'll tell you what I've come about. From what Pat says, it sounds to me like Craythorpe's leg trouble is he's pulled a cartridge. So I thought I'd have a gander at his pins, like.
You do that. I'm away.
You see, Pete, it's like a chap we once had when we was building the road to Morocco. Now, what we done for this fella, we made a poultice with half a spoonful of Isle of Jupiter, a mitch full of that crystals of pomegranate of potash, and stuck the lot into a gill of horse liniment.
And that cured the fella's leg?
Cured it? He finished fourth in the Grand National. How'd you go on there, Jock?
Well, I've got myself going. Goodbye.
Hey, he's a funny chap, your Grandad, Jiminy. No sense of humour at all. Must be with eating all that porridge. It's clogged up his funny bone.
Oh, but he thinks you're funny. He says every time he sees your face, he has to laugh.
Oh, well, that's 1 o'clock for me. Well, it's only tit for tat, or as the French say, salvolatile. But seriously, Jim, I'd better take a look at that geezer Craythorpe, because I might be able to sort of elevate his suffering.
Well, I wish you would. He's driving me mad with his grumbling. James, my pillows aren't straight. Draw the curtains, James. The sunlight hurts. James, hand me my clean bed socks. James, my hot water bottle needs filling. So I filled it. With boiling hot water. I thought this'll warm thee. And it did. I slipped it under him while he was lying on his side reading, and he sat on it. Ooh, I can still see the mark of his hair cream on the ceiling.
Well, if his trouble's what I think it is, Jim, in no time, I'll have him leaping round that room like Anton Dooley, doing one of his pirouettes and entry chats.
Oh, just a minute while I answer the phone.
That's all right, Jim. The victim's in the front room, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, I'll just tootle in and make with the owl massage.
Hello?
Is that Clitheroe's?
No, this is the rest home for sick cats and Craythorpes. I have a message for you.
What is it?
Meow.
What? This is Mrs. Eccles here.
Oh, Fatty Eccles. It's Jimmy Clitheroe speaking.
I'm ringing up about poor Mr. Craythorpe. How is he? Is he being looked after?
He's being taken care of at the moment. We've called in Dr. Whittle from the slaughterhouse.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Oh, there you are, Jimmy.
Shh! I'm onto something with Fatty Eccles. Mrs. Eccles, I want to talk to you about Mr. Craythorpe, so I'll pop round.
Well, give me a few minutes, because I'm not at home. Our phone's out of order and I'm stuck in a call box.
Well, why don't you dial the fire brigade? They'll get you out.
You what?
Oh, nothing. See you later. Ta-ra.
What were all that about?
Alfie, I've just thought of a way to get rid of Mr. Craythorpe.
Yeah, well, I should do it now while he's still alive. There's blue murder going on in that front room.
What? Oh, yes, Mr. Whittle. Come on, I don't want to miss this. Just push the door open a bit.
For the last time, take your hands off me, you subhuman bulldozer.
Oh, just keep still, Theo. Now, tell me, does this hurt when I thump it?
Oh, the pain.
The agony, the torture.
Now, don't get historical. Just tell me, does it hurt?
Hurt? It's like 1,000 devils sticking red-hot needles in me.
Ah, well, it's a bit of fluid on the back of your heel. It's what we call your Achilles tensor. It wants draining up. I'll nip hole from a bag of tools.
Oh, no, please, no!
What does he want his bag of tools for?
Well, either it's a doctor's do-it-yourself kit, or he's going to do some plumbing on Mr. Craythorpe's pipes.
Oh, my leg. It's still throbbing. James, don't ever allow that all-in wrestler in here again.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Craythorpe, but he is our neighbour, and we all like him, especially Mum.
Oh, really? I suppose that in her eyes I don't come up to Mr. Whittle's standards.
Why not? If you're an animal lover, a mouse is no different from a lion.
There's no need to be facetious, James. You may be indifferent to my suffering, but at least your mother isn't.
Oh, no. She wants you to get better as quick as you can.
I'm sure she does.
Yes. This morning she said, the sooner Theodore's fit enough to leave this house, the better.
James, are you speaking the truth?
Well, it was something like that. And she doesn't want you to worry about staying here a long time. She said, it's not costing you anything.
Really? Well, I'm sorry your mother thinks I'm such a burden to her. If she objects to having to cook for me and look after me, it gives me no satisfaction whatever. I have no wish to remain under this roof when inconvenience is being caused. No wish at all.
I don't know what's got into Theodore, Father, but I must say I don't like his attitude.
Well, don't tell me he's ungrateful after all you're doing for him.
Well, that's the way it seems to me. I wouldn't care, but he never complains to me. It's all done behind my back. Jimmy's told me some of the things he said about me thinking he's a burden to me, and I won't be able to laugh at him much longer. And when he says that my cooking gives him no satisfaction whatever, well, that's the limit.
Look, why don't you let me go in there? I'll soon drag that little silkworm out of his cocoon.
No, Father, this is my problem, and I'll deal with it in my own way. I'm going to take this cup of tea into him right now. And if he so much as hints at his feelings, I shall have it out with him, really, I will.
And I noticed, James, that your mother usually brings me a cup of tea about this time. But tonight it appears I've had it.
Well, perhaps she's doing it for your own good. I mean, as Grandad said, with the amount you drink at the town hall, you must have a tummy like the inside of a tea urn.
James, I think I've heard about enough of my failings for one day.
Well, now I've cheered you up, I'll go out and play. Oh, hello, ma'am. I'm just going.
Oh, wait, Jimmy. Oh, well, perhaps it's as well if I were left alone with Theodore. He might have something private he wants to say to me.
Right, ma'am. I'll go and close the keyhole, the door.
A cup of tea, Theodore?
Oh, thank you. I thought you'd forgotten it. Still, I don't suppose you'll be making for me much longer.
Oh, were you thinking of leaving, then?
Well, I'm sure it would solve a few problems if I did.
Well, if you think that way, don't let me keep you here.
I wouldn't dream of doing such a thing.
It's all going according to plan. Now all I've got to do is get cracking on Fatty Eccles. So you see, Mrs. Eccles, I'm sure Mr. Craythorpe's not happy with us, is he, Alfie?
Well, I can't really.
There you are, Alfie agrees with me. That's why we've come round to see you.
Well, I don't be too happy to help, because Mr. Craythorpe's always been very kind to me, and a woman like me remembers these things.
Yes, they say an elephant never forgets.
You what, Jimmy?
Oh, nothing. Are you going in the kitchen, Mrs. Eccles?
Yes, I've left the oven on, and I think my apple dumplings are done.
Alfie, I think we're winning. If we play our cards right, there'll be a husband for Fatty Eccles and a dumpling each for you and me. Look out, she's coming back. Now, you just agree with everything I say. Don't be daft, Alfie. We know Mr. Craythorpe wants to move out, but he can't just come here.
What was that?
You see, Alfie, my mum couldn't tell Mr. Craythorpe to come here because he might think he's not wanted, and he can't say he wants to come here because he doesn't want to offend me mum.
You mean he does want to come here?
Alfie, stand by with the net. I'm reeling her in.
Look, you tell your mam and Mr. Craythorpe that he's more than welcome here. I'll get the spare room ready and call for him in a taxi after dinner tomorrow.
Good. I'll tell him at home.
You were right, Jim. It's whale meat for supper tonight.
Craythorpe, you're 11s. It's Coco this... Hey! You're out of bed and dressed.
I know, James. Just pass me your grandfather's walking stick and I'll be ready to go.
But I told you, Fatty Eccles isn't coming till this afternoon.
I know. That's why I'm getting out this morning.
What?
I refuse to be trapped under the same roof as that man-chasing Amazon. I'm going to summon all my strength and hobble back to my own house.
Well, there's gratitude for you. And after Fatty sending that smashing steak and kidney pudding round.
I never tasted any steak and kidney pudding.
Well, take my word for it, it was smashing.
Oh, it's you, Mrs. Eccles. Come in. I thought you weren't coming till this afternoon.
I know, but I suddenly remembered I'm playing bridge this afternoon.
I don't know about playing bridge. With her muscles, she should be building one.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Craythorpe. And you're all ready to go as well?
Yes, he's all yours, Mrs. Eccles, and I hope he'll be very happy with you.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Well, Theodore, shall we go?
Mrs. Eccles, I have no wish to give offence, but I am not returning with you to your house.
What? But it was all arranged.
Well, I'm sorry if you've been put to any trouble, but I'm adamant. I cannot come with you.
But I've got everything ready. I was looking forward to having you. Is there nothing I can say to make you come with me?
Try apple dumplings.
Mrs. Eccles, there is nothing more we have to say to each other. Good morning to you.
Very well, then. I'll go. But you'll find you can't go through life trifling with a woman's feelings. You big, useless bluebeard!
I'm amazed at you, Theodore.
Are you?
You make arrangements to stay with Mrs. Eccles, and when she comes for you, you change your mind.
I made the arrangements. Come now, Mrs. Clitheroe. You know very well it was your doing.
What? I did no such thing.
You must have done. Otherwise, why would James have gone round there?
But I never said... Oh, no. Jimmy. Jimmy! I don't like seeing you leaving us like this, Theodore. Are you sure you want to go?
Mrs. Clitheroe, I appreciate most sincerely the fact that I may stay on, but now I'm on my feet, I really feel much better. I shall be all right.
Did you fix everything up on the phone, Theodore?
Yes, my neighbour will take me to work every day in his car, and his wife will prepare my evening meal for me. And I shan't be going anywhere at nights. I shall just sit by the fire with my leg up.
Where? The chimney?
Now, that'll be enough from you, Jim. If Theodore hadn't pleaded for you, you'd have had the hiding of your life.
Oh, there's the taxi, Mr. Craythorpe. I'll help you down the garden path before me Grandad leaves his footprints on me sit-upon.
Well, cheerio, Mrs. Sinclair. Cheerio, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Bye, Theodore.
Take care of that leg.
Just lean on my shoulder. That's it. Come on. You be taken for a tatter. Past our little goldfish pond.
Oh, that boy is a real expert at causing trouble.
Yeah, well, he should be. He's had enough practice.
Ma'am!
What's happened?
Put the sheets back on the bed, ma'am. Hop along, Craythorpe's done it again.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Leonard Williams as both Mr. Whittle and Mr. Craythorpe, Danny Ross, Diana Day, and Betty Alberge. The recorded program, written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe, was produced in the north of England by James Casey and starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself.
Craythorpe's all right again. He's sitting up and taking nourishment, and I've just had my first meal sitting down. Ooh, I'm not kidding. Have you ever been kicked by a mule in a kilt? I wouldn't care, but it was Mr. Craythorpe's own fault he fell in our goldfish pond. When I was helping him down the path, a tanner dropped out of my pocket, and he bent down to pick it up. My tanner! Well, naturally. I put my foot on his hand and gave him a shove.